Cape's leader. Sports radio play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod. Chatham A's baseball. Sports radio play-by-play. Let's go A's! Putting bats through the fog, playing under the lights. The stars of tomorrow shine tonight. No one else can beat them. Come on out and see them. Chatham A's baseball, summertime on Cape Cod.
A wise man once said, the Chat Dogs are barking. Winners of 3 of 4, the A's make their first trip to Stony Brook Field for a matchup with Brewster. Field side at Stony Brook Field, it's time for the Anglers Extra pregame show with Jake Klein. I'm Hudson Ridley. Jake, last night, 11 runs scored by Chatham in that 11-6 win over Wareham, their second win over Wareham this year. And now it's kind of become regular for Chatham to score this many runs, 4.9 per game. That now sits atop the East Division in runs per game. And when you talk to anybody on this team, all they say is the offense was capable this entire time. And now I'm really just inclined to believe them.
Even early in the season when those offensive struggles were going for Chatham, and it felt at times like 2-3 run deficits were too much for the A's to overcome. The message from the coaching staff, the message from the players was, look, this team is loaded. And over the last couple of days, they've showed it.
They have certainly proven that. And Dennis Cook, manager of the Chatham A's, has said that the entire way. Jake, you'll talk with him on the other side for the manager's show. And then a little later on, we'll have an interview with our catch of the day, lineups, and pitching matchup. We'll have it all for you on a windy and now cloudy day at Stony Brook Field. It's a 5 o'clock first pitch, so stay with us. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier 4-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Welcome back on the Anglers Extra pregame show. Almost time for Game 15 of the Cape League season. Chatham visits Brewster for the first time in 2025. It's time for the manager's show alongside the Chatham manager, Dennis Cook. I'm Jake Klein. Dennis, an 11-6 win over Wareham last night. What'd you see out there?
Guys swing the bat really good. Just continued doing what they've been doing the last few games, and just feel like we're getting better and better every game. Seeing good pitches, squaring them up, not missing pitches when we're in offensive counts. So I'm really proud of the kids. They made a big jump, and hopefully it just continues.
If you could pinpoint one thing that's been the catalyst for this offense over the last week, what would it be?
I just think we're getting better pitches to hit, and we're not missing them when we get them.
What would you say is the benefit of the way you've kept continuity in this lineup?
Well, I think it's, the guys are up here to play. That's why our roster is short. They're up here to play, not sit the bench and play twice a week. So I have 11 position players, and I want to keep the core of our lineup playing every day. We have enough off days where they get plenty of rest. So we don't need 15 position players. I think 11 or 10, and we're good to go.
Maybe the picture of the continuity in your lineup has been Henry Ford. He's back at the top of the lineup today. 5 runs driven in for him last night. What did you see in that performance?
Well, just unbelievable. I mean, Henry is, like I said, he's one of my favorite players. He's, he loves to play baseball, and he's here. Doesn't have to be here, but he's here and simply because he loves to play baseball. And, he got home at 3 o'clock in the morning from New York the night before, and I thought about giving him the day off. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play him, see what happens. He gets 3 hits, drives in 5. So, just thankful that he's here with us, and I wish we could keep him all summer.
The other guy who's been in the lineup every day of the season so far is Ethan Mendoza. You've shuffled him around, lead off, 5-hole, 3-hole lately. What does he bring to the lineup?
He's a good hitter. His bat-to-ball skill is really, really good. It's high level. You know, I like him in the 3-hole because he hits behind runners. He doesn't strike out a lot. Just a good player.
You've passed Orleans in the East Division standings up into 4th place. Now just 2 points back of Harwich, and you've got that Brewster game tonight and then the home and home with Orleans. How critical are the next 3 days for your team?
They're all the same to me. I didn't even know where we were in the standings, to be honest with you. I hadn't seen standings. Listen, we can't control all that stuff. All we can control is good at bats and throwing strikes and playing defense. If we do that, I like our chances. If we do those things good and we lose, so be it.
Chatting with Dennis Cook on the Manager's Show before the A's take on the Brewster Whitecaps at Stony Brook Field. Dennis, tonight you face Brewster for the second time. You turn to Tate Carey on the mound. What's he going to bring?
Tate's going to bring a good fastball, and he's trying to develop a curveball. I've been working on that, secondary pitch, and hopefully he'll throw some good ones tonight, and he'll get better from his last outing in Bourne. He did good in Bourne, did really good in Bourne. I just wanted to see him get a little more consistent with the secondary pitch and just see some progress, make sure he's going in the right direction with that.
What's a good indication of progress on a breaking ball?
Just a few more strikes with it, and then being able to vary speeds early in the count, be able to throw it over for a strike, and then with 2 strikes being able to power it and maybe bury it and get a swing and miss. Just things like that, and learning how to use it. So when we send him back to Michigan, he's better than when he came to us.
You had a couple of days there with only 9 position players. You mentioned you're back up to 11 on the roster. What kind of additional flexibility has that brought you?
It's the perfect number for me. We're going to play guys. We're going to play catchers in the outfield. We're going to give them at bats out there. We're going to make them more versatile than one position players. We got guys that can play everywhere. Gavin Gallagher. I asked him yesterday. I was going to ask him. I said, "Hey, Gavin, can you play?" And before I could even ask him where, he said, "Yes, I can play there." So I'm going to play him at shortstop some. I'm going to play him in center field. I'm going to move him around because the more versatile these kids can become, the more valuable they are to the professional guys. And I think Henry Ford is a perfect example of that. He's a first baseman and a corner outfielder. Some questions, is he landlocked at those places? You know what? Henry Ford is a damn good center fielder. And now every scout in America knows he's a good center fielder. And that's only going to add to his value. So, we're going to move him around, and we're going to make mistakes, but you know what? That's just the way it is.
Henry Ford back in center field, leading off for the A's tonight in Brewster. That's the Manager's Show. Dennis, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Back to Hudson Ridley for the rest of the Anglers Extra pregame show.
Thank you very much, Jake. Those questions about positional flexibility as well, certain guys playing in certain places, that'll rear its head tonight. We'll have lineups for you in just about 15 minutes as we're winding down here on the Anglers Extra pregame show ahead of Game 15 of the season against Brewster, but we still have our catch of the day on the other side, joined by a very special guest who knows all about positional flexibility. Stick around for the catch of the day on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TIC. Cape Cod.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located right around the corner from Veterans Field at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at sweettomatoescapecod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Welcome back into the Anglers Extra pregame show ahead of Game 15 of the season at Stony Brook Field between Chatham and Brewster. It's time for the catch of the day. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Auburn catcher Chase Freilich. Chase, you've been here for a week and change already. You settling in already?
Absolutely, yes, sir. It was super easy to settle in here. Great people.
What's been your favorite part about being in Chatham so far?
The beach is super awesome, lighthouse, and then there's great food everywhere around, so it's been super cool.
Lighthouse Beach, that's been the beach of choice so far?
It has. It's the closest that I can bike to, so it's definitely been the beach of choice.
And then good food. What's your favorite spot so far? Have you gone at the same spot twice yet at this point?
I go to Sweet Tomatoes every day before the game, so I've probably been there the most for sure.
Good advertisement already for Sweet Tomatoes. We have plenty on the broadcast, and now we got a whole lot more. You've also adjusted pretty quickly at this point to the wood bats. It was a little bit of a struggle at the beginning for you, and then once you figured it out, walk me through the process a little bit of that.
I think little bit of the wood bats and a little bit of not having live ABs in a little bit. I was dinged up after the season, so just getting my rhythm back, seeing live pitching again, I just settled in, and nothing I really changed myself.
Mm-hmm. Your Auburn teammate, Ike Irish, and your positional teammate as well, has been here before. What did he tell you about Chatham?
I mean, he stayed with the Condons as well, which is who I'm staying with, and he said great things about them, and he loved all the coaches up here at Chatham, so he said it was a really good spot for me.
Mm-hmm. Did that make you want to go to Chatham even more?
It did. I didn't know he played here until after I signed my contract up here, but it worked out, so it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. There's 4 catchers right now on the roster. Some people could think, oh, that's a lot of catchers. What is the dynamic like with you 4?
There's no hard feelings between all of us. We're just, whenever Dennis tells us we need to catch, we catch, and hopefully we're in the lineup, and we all cheer each other on and wish each other the best back there.
You've got a little positional versatility, too, playing first base. How does that help with the team?
I think it helps. Wherever Dennis tells me he needs me to play, I'm going to go play there, and I'm going to do my best effort to get the team a W.
Mm-hmm. The team has been getting quite a few W's recently, 3 in the last 4 games, and at this point it really feels like the offense has come alive. What do you think the ceiling is for this offense?
I think the ceiling, I think we can go as high as anybody in the Cape. We're starting to string hits together and get some more balls to fall in the outfield, and our pitchers have been doing a good job limiting the runs, so we've been doing some good things.
Mm-hmm. Climbing up now in a playoff spot in the East at this point, chatting on the Anglers Extra pregame show with Chase Freilich before game number 15 of the season against Brewster. Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about your past days, not with baseball, but with tennis, one of the best tennis players in the country. When you think back to those days, what really stands out for you of that moment in your life?
It was a balance. It was definitely a hard balance between the two sports. I grew up in a tennis household with both my parents playing tennis in college. So the choice to play baseball was a hard one for me and my family just because they were a tennis background. But I'm very happy with the decision I made.
You were once interviewed by the News where you said, well, I don't practice tennis all that often, but I still come out here and I beat a lot of these guys. When you put yourself back in that mindset, what were you feeling at that moment knowing that you could just show up and do it?
It's just, I give all the credit to my dad. He was my coach growing up, and he put me in a great spot to where I still have the ability to go out there and play well, just because the muscle memory is still there.
Do you ever think about picking it back up?
I do. I played a lot in the fall and the winter. Didn't play much during the season, but whenever I have some off time, I like to go out there and play.
Do you think making practice on that swing for tennis kind of carries over for baseball and vice versa?
I think it did. My backhand was always really good in tennis, which translates to my lefty baseball swing, and letting the ball travel and hit it the other way has been a strength of mine. So I think those are the 2 things that coordinated the most.
Would you recommend young kids that are getting into baseball play tennis?
I think you could. I think it's a different sport. For families, it's a little harder to get into. It's not as fun, but for hand-eye coordination, I think it's really, really important.
Do you still keep up with tennis at all?
I do. I'm watching Wimbledon right now. I watch all the reruns on YouTube, and I definitely keep up with it.
Who's your pick right now to win Wimbledon?
I got Alcaraz. He's been dominating everywhere.
Going with the favorite, it seems here. Going with the favorite. Well, that's all the time we have right now for Catch of the Day. Chase Freilich, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. War Eagle.
War Eagle, indeed. All right, Jake Klein has the rest of your Anglers Extra pregame show. Jake?
Thank you very much, Hudson. Chase Freilich has really settled in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Another hit last night, and he's got that average up over 240 after a slow start to his CCBL tenure. We've got your lineups, we've got your pitching matchup, and we've got first pitch from Stony Brook Field. It's all ahead. You won't want to miss it. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TIC. Cape Cod.
Year after year, Cape Cod League Baseball and Chatham Bars Inn have been synonymous with summer on Cape Cod. The inn has offered clam bakes, beachside barbecues, and oceanfront dining since 1914. The new Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Visit Chatham Bars Inn at www.chathambarsin.com. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family. Chatham A's baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run. A grand slam for Todd Frazier.
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seager. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
And now, with your play-by-play, Jake Klein and Hudson Ridley.
Just moments away from first pitch at Stony Brook Field for game number 15 of the Cape League season, chugging along in the early going. With Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. We have plenty to do before first pitch, and that all begins with your lineups presented by Chatham Clothing Bar. Jake?
First for the visiting Chatham A's, 5, 6, and 3, 4th place in the Cape League's East Division under first-year manager Dennis Cook. Henry Ford, the center fielder from Virginia, transferring to Tennessee. He leads off again today. Gavin Gallagher bats second, third baseman from North Carolina. Then the 3-hole hitter is Ethan Mendoza, righty hitting second baseman out of Texas. Chase Raylick, the designated hitter, cleans up. He's from Auburn. Jackson Freeman, the right fielder out of Northwestern, hits fifth. Daniel Jackson back in the lineup after a day off yesterday. He's the first baseman from Georgia in the 6-hole. And then the bottom third of Dennis Cook's order, Jake Hanley is the left fielder today from Indiana. Noah Miller, the catcher from Michigan, and Isaiah Lane, the shortstop from San Diego, hits ninth. For the Brewster Whitecaps, 9 and 5. They are in second place in the Cape League's East Division behind the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They're under manager Jamie Shevchek. Jacob McCombs is the right fielder from UC Irvine. He leads off. Cal Fisher, the Florida State shortstop, bats second. Brendan Lawson, who homered in his Cape League debut yesterday, is the second baseman from Florida in the 3-hole. Alex Sosa, the designated hitter. He's from NC State, headed to Miami next fall. Carson Kearse, Georgia Tech third baseman, bats fifth. Drew Rogers is the 6th-hole hitter. He's the catcher from Georgia Tech. Colin Priest, the first baseman from Clemson, bats 7th. Michael Anderson, left fielder from Arkansas, 8th. And the 9-hole hitter is Ty Head. He is the center fielder from NC State. Hudson has your pitching matchup presented to you, as always, by the Red Nun Bar and Grill.
Sure do, Jake. On the mound to begin things for Brewster, it's the 6'6", 200-pound right-hander Alex Philpott from South Carolina. He'll make the transfer to Florida after the summer. He makes his 4th appearance of the season through 6 2/3 innings pitched. He has allowed no runs, 6 hits in that span, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. This is his first start in the Cape League. On the other side, for Chatham, it's Tate Carey, 6 foot, 209 pounds, right-hander from Michigan. Making his 3rd appearance of the season, his 2nd start through 5 2/3 innings. He has a 4.76 ERA, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. He is making his, again, 2nd start of the season. Your umpires today, presented by Chatham Paint and Hardware. Behind home plate, it's Ryan Damari. Down the first baseline, Jake Brickta. And down the third baseline, Tony Brunetti. Those three stand at the plate alongside catcher Drew Rogers for Brewster. Awaiting the national anthem here at Stony Brook Field as both teams spill out of their dugouts. Chatham on the first base side and Brewster on the third base side. Both teams now line up on the edge of the grass as it's time for first pitches here at Stony Brook Field. Brewster just outside of the third base dugout, wearing their white uniforms today with pinstripes both on the top and bottom, those pinstripes in dark blue. A script Whitecaps across the chest with a little wave underneath it in that seafoam green that Brewster has. Black numbers on the back of the jerseys, a seafoam green outline, and the American flag 4th of July caps today, which Chatham is also wearing. Dark blue on the back, white on the front with a red bill. Chatham's got those as well, and the Anglers today go with the blue tops with Chatham script across the front and red numbers underneath. White numbers on the back with red outlining and gray pants as well. 3 first pitches all at the same time at Stony Brook Field. All were on target as it's time to clear the field and get ready for the national anthem here at Stony Brook under a dark gray sky. No lights here at Stony Brook, so it is also a race against the clock. We have another first pitch. First, it's from a competitive hot dog eater, Jake. And
Yeah, not Joey Chestnut, though.
no, certainly not.
If you're not Joey Chestnut, you're really not that competitive of a hot dog eater.
I would argue Kobayashi, the Japanese
Right, yeah,
guy.
he's the only other.
Those are the only two. If you're not one of those two, you're not really competitive. All right, time for the national anthem at Stony Brook Field.
That is Peter Michael Piro. Peter Michael Piro, recording national anthems for Major League Baseball since 2003 and for the Whitecaps since 2016. His performances are dedicated to those who protect and serve our great nation. This season, he's set to sing the Little League World Series for the Buffalo Bills and the New York Yankees. Please raise your voices and join Peter Michael as in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now the anthem out of the way. Both teams heading back to their respective dugouts. Bit of a standoff going on between both sides, and Brewster immediately wins it. Chatham back to their dugout instantly. Alex Philpott, the 6'6 right-hander, takes the hill for Brewster to toss his warm-up pitches. He's making his first Cape League start in 2025. Has yet to allow a run in 6 2/3 innings pitched. And he's got a tough order to face. It begins with Henry Ford, Gavin Gallagher, and Ethan Mendoza, the first 3 up for Chatham. Again, no lights at Stony Brook Field, one of the few ballparks in the Cape League where it is also not just a race against the innings, but a race against time as well. If it gets too dark and the game runs too late, this game will end where it is. That's happened a few times before already this season at different ballparks around the Cape League. Brewster has yet to have a tie, though. The Whitecaps come into today at 9-6. Rather, 9-5. Chatham at 5-6-3 in 4th place. Last night, with a Harwich loss, Chatham would have jumped from 5th to 3rd. Instead, with the Orleans loss, Chatham jumps from 5th to 4th and now finds itself in a playoff spot. Of course, after today's game, it's back-to-back against Orleans on the 3rd and 4th, that home and home for the holiday weekend.
How about the approach from Dennis Cook when I asked him about that kind of tight section of the standings there between Chatham, Orleans, Harwich, and then Brewster up ahead of them? He said, no, they're all the same to me. Didn't even know that Chatham passed Orleans yesterday in the standings.
It just seems like a guy who's just focused on plate appearance by plate appearance, and that's what he said all season long. It's giving guys opportunities, not necessarily One guy getting all the reps, mixing it around, an opportunity for development. And for Chatham so far, at least in the past couple of games, that's worked well. Chatham winners of 3 of the last 4, and a big reason why is Henry Ford. He strides into the right-handed batter's box, kicks up a little bit of dirt. Home plate umpire Ryan Damari brushes the rest away off home plate, working diligently. Takes him a while to push the dirt around. And now he takes his spot behind the dish. Ford ready to go. Philpott with the face covered by the glove, now comes set and fires. First pitch fastball inside at 5:05. That's 5 minutes after scheduled start time. Today in Stony Brook Field, it is cloudy and 76, time and temperature by the CAA. 1-0, popped up right side, hit deep by Ford towards the wall. It's gone. Way out of here for Henry Ford. It only takes 2 pitches for the A's to strike first. The 3rd bomb of the season for Ford, and Chatham with a 1-0 lead to begin the ball game.
Hello.
Goodbye. That thing had no chance of landing in the yard. It hit about 20 feet up the trees in left. It was clear of the foul pole that reads 315 by a good 10 or so feet. Jumped on the pitch instantly from Philpott, and now Chatham with a 1-0 lead. That brings up Gavin Gallagher from the right side. Philpott's first pitch. Takes inside on a fastball. It's 1-0. Henry Ford with his team-leading 3rd home run on the young season. Passes Daniel Jackson, who he was tied for the lead. Here's the 1-0. Flared into center field. That drops down for a base knock. Gallagher holds up at first. It's back-to-back hits for Chatham. The Anglers have a runner on with nobody gone in the top of the first, already up 1-0.
So Henry Ford 2 nights ago gets back to Chatham at 3 in the morning, starts the same day, drives in 5 in the win over Wareham, and now starts with a home run.
He's really starting to pick it up, and in that game at Citi Field,
right,
he had 2 base knocks in that one as well. So if you want to count the last 3 days in total, Ford has 6 hits and 6 RBIs in that span. Ethan Mendoza stands in from the right side. First pitch, called strike. A heavy dose of the fastball early from Philpott. It's 0-1.
And that's a guy on the mound who has not allowed a run to this point.
Pitched 6 2/3 innings without giving one up. Check over on first. Gallagher back with a head-first slide. All of those 6 2/3 innings were in relief for Philpott. Hadn't allowed a walk yet, and still has not. Mendoza in an 0-1 count. Another check over on first, not in time again. Gallagher, not necessarily the biggest threat to steal, has yet to steal a base this year. Popped up and flied back. It's 0-2. Rather, he has stolen 1 base, has yet to be caught. Only 1-0, and he's been here a couple of weeks. But Philpott seems very interested in Gallagher, who takes a lead off of first base. Checks over his left shoulder that way, now comes set. The 0-2 to Mendoza. Swing and a liner out towards right field. It's down for a base hit. Gallagher moves up to second. Mendoza on first. It's 3 straight hits for Chatham to lead off the ball game. And the Anglers offense picking up right where it left off after a season-high 11 runs last night. Jake, this is an offense that you knew would figure it out at one point or another.
I don't know if I did know. And then all of a sudden, about a week ago, it became very clear they're here to stay.
They certainly are, and Chase Freilich has been a big portion of that. Hitting .250 after a rough start, he has really picked it up. First pitch to Freilich, popped up, left side of the infield. Back on it goes Curse. He reaches up the glove and makes the grab for out number 1. So it takes 4 batters for Alex Philpott to finally get the first out of the top of the first. And it comes against Freilich. That pop-up holds the runners at first and second. The defensive alignment behind Philpott today, presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. In the outfield, it's Anderson in left with Head in center and McCombs in right. Around the diamond from third to first, Curse at third, Fisher at short, Lawson at second, and Priest at first, with Rogers on the catching duty. Jackson Freeman from the left side. First pitch skips off the glove of the catcher Rogers and travels down the first base line. Pitch was ruled a ball, and he got to it before either runner advanced. It's Mendoza on first, Gallagher on second, both off of singles. Chatham up 1-0 in the top of the first with one gone, thanks to the leadoff home run from Henry Ford. Here's the 1-0. Called strike on the outer half. Freeman swipes the left foot along. Stands back in. Twirls the bat again and again, and now leans back in his stance. It's a 1-1 from Philpott. Runner takes off, pitch is fouled back. Dribbles just in front of us and hits the netting. Both runners have to retreat to their bases. Offset just towards the first base side, right behind the fencing here at Stony Brook Field. We're actually in the bleachers right now. I almost feel kind of like a fan with a front row seat instead.
Great jumps there from Gallagher and Mendoza.
They would have had it. 1-2. Skips in the dirt off the mask of Rogers, and it hit Freeman first. Ryan Damari jumps up from his spot. Says it hit him in the foot, and he sends Freeman down to first base, and now they're juiced. Gallagher up to third, Mendoza to second, and Freeman on first. That brings up Daniel Jackson. Just had his home run lead taken by Henry Ford. He's got 2 already on the season. One of the highest OPSs in the Cape League. Starting to slide a little bit in recent at-bats, but he's been the Chatham offense at times. First pitch, right-hander takes strike one. Low and away. Towards the beginning of the season, Jackson was really one of the only reliable bats in the order for Chatham. And now the rest of the order has picked it up right alongside. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a liner out to deep left field. It rolls up against the wall. One run comes in to score. It's Gallagher. Mendoza right behind him. It's a stand-up double for Daniel Jackson. He drives in 2 more. Chatham on top 3-0 in the top of the first. The offense is on fire for the A's. Jackson missed a home run by maybe 5 or so feet. It hit that wall and left hard right in the corner. Freeman went all the way up to third, so now it's 2 in scoring position for Jake Hanley and only 1 gone for the A's. Righty-lefty, first pitch. Low and away on the fastball. It's ball 1. And as of late, this is who you want in this spot. Jake Hanley has been on a tear. Last night, 2 singles. Drove in runs in that ball game to continue his streak. Here's the 1-0. Called strike at the knees. 1-1. Chatham on top 3-0 in the top of the first. The first 3 batters for the A's all scoring. 1-1. Fouled backwards. Goes over the protective netting in the backstop of Brewster. Finds its way out into the forest. It's a tight 2-story press box directly behind home plate. Grandstands on either side. Both of them relatively packed, although not a lot of space. Hanley down 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled backwards again. He stays alive. The fastball from Philpott at 93. Hanley a few nights ago in Falmouth picked up 2 base hits and 2 walks to go along with 2 RBIs. So far, statistically, his best game of the season. They've all come in a row. Time called on the mound by Philpott. He steps off and gets a fresh 20 on the pitch clock. And now Brewster's pitching coach makes his way out to have a word with Philpott. It has not been the start that the Whitecaps would have wanted. Henry Ford with a leadoff home run. Gallagher followed with a single. He scored. Mendoza with another single. He scored. Frelick popped up. And then Jackson Freeman hit by a pitch. He's on third. Daniel Jackson knocked in 2 on a double. Brian Del Rosa, Brewster's pitching coach, having a word with the catcher Drew Rogers and Alex Philpott. Now he breaks up the meeting between the two and makes his way back to Brewster's dugout on the third base side.
Brewster coaching staff always has the best footwear.
They certainly do. Do you think John Schiffner, you could extend that to him as well? I'm not sure.
No. Jamie Shevchuk, though, he's got the Jordan 1s.
1-2 to Hanley. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball dips underneath Hanley's bat. He hacked over the top of it, and Philpott has his first strikeout of the day. But it comes against the 7th batter in the inning. With 2 gone, it brings up Noah Miller. Runners on second and third for the A's. Chatham already on top 3-0 in the top of the first. Miller stands still in his stance. First pitch, righty-righty. Drills him. 92 to the shoulder. And he'll have to wear that one down the first baseline. That's the second hit by pitch from Philpott in the frame.
One on a breaking ball to a lefty off the back foot, and the other almost in the rib cage of a righty with the fastball.
He's missed his spots quite a few times tonight. And mind you, like we've mentioned before coming into today, Philpott had not allowed a run. Now he's given up 3, and he's facing the 9-hole hitter, Isaiah Lane, still in the top of the first. First pitch to the righty, low and away, and gloved by Rogers. Bases are loaded. Freeman on third, Jackson on second, and Noah Miller on first. 2 of those on a hit by pitch. Lane last night drove in 2 runs on a double. Here's the 1-0. Inside on the fastball and nearly hits Lane. Maybe the control's starting to wane for Philpott. Lane ahead in the count, 2-0. The righty comes set. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the inner corner. 2-1. This offense has been night and day from what we had seen at the beginning of the year. Last night putting up a 6-run inning. Here's the 2-1. Takes inside. Called strike. The windup from Demari. And he gives the point towards the first base side. And now Philpott a strike away from ending the inning. Lane waggles the bat over the head. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swing and a lofted ball out towards right field. Being chased and it drops. Freeman comes in to score. Jackson alongside him. And it's 2 more runs for Chatham. Isaiah Lane brings in runs 4 and 5 of the top of the first. And the Anglers are rolling. That is now 5 hits in the frame for Chatham. Henry Ford, Gavin Gallagher, Ethan Mendoza, Daniel Jackson, and now Isaiah Lane. Miller went first to third, so it's runners on the corners, and the lineup turns over for Henry Ford. He can cross a column out in your scorebook. First pitch to Ford. Takes inside on a fastball. It's 1-0. Ford led off the ball game with a home run. It was the second pitch he saw, and he crushed it to deep left field. 1-0. Runner takes off for second. Pitch is high, no throw down. Lane is in safely. That puts 2 in scoring position ahead of Ford. Lane got a great jump on that one. All Philpott is doing is focusing on Ford at the dish with 2 gone. He's got him in a 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Noah Miller comes in to score. Isaiah Lane goes in standing. It's 7 runs for Chatham in the top of the first. Unreal offensive production from the Anglers early. And now manager Jamie Shevchuk has to come out and have a word with Philpott. He only gets through 2, and it's a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen. A hot start for the Anglers. Henry Ford has already driven in 3 runs in the top of the first as the leadoff man, if that gives you any indication. Back on the other side with Philpott's numbers and the new pitcher when we return. Chatham bats are hot on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Oh woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this away, 'cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, 'cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Don't you come back no more.
what you said?
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't understand
Don't
you.
you come back.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham on top 7-0 in the top of the first, and the A's force a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen. With Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. The new pitcher, right-hander Lance Davis, 6'4", 200 pounds, from Arkansas. Just like Philpott, has yet to allow a run. This is his 4th appearance of the season. He's pitched 5 innings, walking 3 and striking out 7. The right-hander inherits Henry Ford on first base. For Philpott, the line is then not final. He pitched 2/3 of an inning and allowed 6 hits. He's saddled right now with 7 runs, but is responsible for Ford on first. Still has yet to walk a batter, although he hit 2 today, and he struck out just 1. That brings up Gavin Gallagher from the right side with a runner on first. Davis readies. His first pitch. Swing and a liner right and foul. Drifts over top and into the parking lot that sits on the first base side. There's also a elementary school here, Stony Brook Elementary, that sits right up the hill, directly behind the first base side. 0-1. Swing and a ground ball right side, gloved at first. Underhand from McCombs to the pitcher. Davis covers, and that's out number 3.
Finally.
2 pitches, 1 batter. It's all it takes for Davis, but the damage is surely done by the Anglers. 7 runs in the frame, coming on 6 hits, no errors, and leaving the 1 runner on base. A big hole for Brewster to dig out of. It's the second straight day where Chatham has had an offensive explosion earlier in the game. The Anglers have won 3 of 4, and that streak doesn't look like it'll die today, but need a good performance from the right-hander Tate Carey. He's up next when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field for the bottom of the first. Chatham already with a 7-0 lead, courtesy of a whole lot of offense in the top of the first. And that already puts Tate Carey, today's starting pitcher for the A's, in line for the win. 6 foot, 209-pound right-hander out of Michigan, making his second start of the season, his third appearance of the year. He faces the leadoff man, Jacob McCombs, from the left side. First pitch. Upstairs on the fastball, it's ball 1. 92 miles an hour out of the right hand of Carey. After McCombs, it's Cal Fisher and Brendan Lawson. Here's the 1-0. Popped up. Drifts foul. Over the backstop, and it lands on the concourse behind Brewster's press box. Nearly half an hour into this ball game already. This field does not have lights. 1-1. Swing and a tip into the mitt of Miller. It's 1-2.
Yeah, 22-minute top of the first is a recipe for a game that doesn't go 9 innings.
The good news is for the A's, it's a 7-0 lead. 1-2 to the leadoff man. Popped up. Stays on the infield, left side. Gallagher at third base drifts back into the infield and makes the grab for out number 1. So Carey gets McCombs to pop up. That begins the home half of the first and turns it over to Cal Fisher, shortstop from Florida State. The defensive alignment today for the A's, Jake Hanley gets the start in left. He's bounced back and forth between first and left. Henry Ford in center field. Dennis Cook talked about his versatility, and it's Jackson Freeman in right. First pitch, fouled back from Fisher. It's 0-1. Around the diamond from third to first, it's Gavin Gallagher at third. Isaiah Lane at the shortstop spot with Ethan Mendoza at second, and Daniel Jackson gets the start at first base. Noah Miller catching tonight for the A's. 0-1. Flied out towards left field. Hanley a few steps in, and he makes the grab for out number 2. Fisher gave it a bit of a ride, but no trouble for Hanley. He's played a very good first base. When you talk about versatility, which Dennis Cook did on the manager's show during the Anglers Extra pregame show, you know how much he values that versatility. He talked about Henry Ford and not being landlocked at a position. Now moving Jake Hanley around a little bit, that gives him the chance. Brendan Lawson, the second baseman, in from the left side. High stance, his first offering. Upstairs, the fastball from Carey for ball 1. Lawson's arms are nearly locked above his head as he waits for the pitch. The bat fully above his head. 1-0. Flied out towards left, carving foul, and it ends up going foul. Hanley chased it towards that left field line, but it took a bounce about 6 or 7 feet from it. Trickled in front of the Brewster bullpen, which has already seen action today. Lance Davis came in after a blow-up first inning from Alex Philpott, in which he allowed 7 runs to the A's. Chatham with a 7-0 lead. Bases are empty and 2 gone. It's a 1-1 count to Brendan Lawson. Carey shakes off Miller. Now comes set. Here's the 1-1. High and away. Ball 2. The off-speed that time from Carey. 81 miles an hour from the youngster from Michigan. One of 2 players on this Chatham team born in 2006. Here's the 2-1. Cut on and missed. Strike 2. Lawson takes a long walk out of the batter's box, circles all the way around catcher Noah Miller and home plate umpire Ryan DeMori, and stands back in. It's a 2-2 count with 2 gone. Carey agrees on the sign. Here's the pitch. Skips in the dirt off the glove of Miller and ends up in the left-handed batter's box. Count runs full. Fans right now engulfing Stony Brook Field. You can find them down both lines and in the outfield on what has been newly built Cappy's Pavilion out in dead center field. Here's the payoff. Ball 4 just off the plate. Carey tried to dot him up low and away with the fastball and does not get the call from DeMari. So it's a 2-out walk for Brendan Lawson. And Brewster has a man aboard. Now making the slow walk up, it's Alex Sosa. Sosa strides back and forth in the right-handed box and kicks up dirt. A muted clap from the Brewster faithful here at Stony Brook as his name comes over the PA system. He's got the wind blowing straight out, the American flag in right center field. First pitch, called strike. Bottom outside corner on the fastball from Carey. It's 0-1. It's a full forest that goes all the way around the outfield wall here at Brewster. Adds on either side of the fence. Here's the 0-1, grounded back up the middle. Fielded by Lane at short. He steps on the second base bag himself and ends the inning. So Tate Carey goes through 4 batters, allows a walk, and gets the other 3. On the other side, when we return, it's the middle of the Chatham order. Ethan Mendoza has already singled, and he's back up in the second. He'll be followed by Freilich and Freeman. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. What I want, you've got, and it might be hard to handle. But like a flame that burns a candle, the candle feeds the flame. Yeah, yeah, what I got, full stock of thoughts and dreams to scatter. When you pull them all together, and I can't explain. Oh yeah, well, you make my dreams come true.
Hi, this is Ethan Mendoza. I'm from Texas. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Jake Klein and Hudson Ridley on Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Welcome back into Stony Brook Field for the top of the second. Chatham on top 7-0. You just heard from Ethan Mendoza. He's the first batter of the top of the second. It's followed by Freilich and Freeman, 3, 4, and 5 of the A's order, to face the second pitcher of the day, Lance Davis. He retired Gavin Gallagher when he came in, the only batter that he needed to face But it's really an uphill climb right now for Brewster. Mendoza makes the slow walk towards the right-handed batter's box. Stands in with the right foot at the back of the box. Right pocket has the burnt orange sliding glove for his university, Texas. Lance Davis looks in. First pitch, righty-righty. Called strike. At the knees and in. It's 0-1. It's been cloudy all day on the eastern part of the Cape. Showers here and there, but nothing so far. 0-1. Low and away. 1-1. Showers earlier at Veterans Field today. And a bit of a misting earlier in this ball game before it began. 1-1. Clips the upper inside corner on the fastball. It's 1-2. Mendoza did not offer. Cappy, the Brewster mascot, standing in the stands on the third base side. One of a few mascots in the Cape League. Here's the 1-2. Fly ball out to dead center field. That sends head back to the track. Reaches up and he makes the grab for out number 1. Mendoza put a lot of power behind it. Not have enough to make it there. It's out number 1. That Cappy mascot is an interesting one. Of the ones that exist, it's probably the most intricate, would you say, Jake?
Well, it's also the newest. Ozzy the Harbor Hawk and Homer in Falmouth are both much older.
First pitch to the lefty, Freilich. Taken below the knees, it's ball 1.
Cappy's got a great hairdo.
He certainly does. It's a wave across. A wave, not waves. We've had this discussion earlier, which is a large difference. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Freilich waved out ahead and lunged over at a fastball low and away from Davis. He could not connect. Cappy has a big baseball head and then a mascot body to fit it. Here's the 1-1. Taken at the knees, a called strike.
Unlike Homer, who has exposed human skin.
Which almost feels a little creepy when you look at it. You don't want a mascot with any skin showing. It's strange. Cappy does not have that issue. It's 1-2 to Freilich. Here's the pitch. Taken inside on a fastball. 2-2 to Freilich. He was the first out of the top of the first. Popped up to Curse at third base. Surrounding him were 7 Chatham runs in that frame. Here's the 2-2. Popped backwards. Count remains at 2 strikes as it drifted foul and into the forest that's behind the third base dugout.
And Cappy wears number 99. Do you know why?
It's a great question. Why is that, Jake?
Because Aaron Judge was a Brewster Whitecap.
It's an interesting call. I guess if you're going to have an alum, that's a good one. 2-2. Takes inside on the slider, and it hit him in the knee. A slow, rather small poof of dust came up off the pants of Freilich. It just so lightly grazed him on the slider inside, and he's got to walk down to first base. It's the third hit batter today from Brewster pitching, the first from Lance Davis. It's a 1-out base runner for the A's. Jackson Freeman stands in from the left side. Already today, he's been hit by a pitch. That was the first one tossed by the starter, Alex Philpott. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike at the knees. Brian Damari, the home plate umpire, a slow windup and point towards that first base side. It's an emphatic call. Oh, skips in the dirt and off the protector of Rogers. He keeps it in front of him and holds Freilich at first. Fisher at short was in towards the bag a little bit. Now finds himself a little bit deeper. Lawson at second with his heels on the grass. Pickoff move to first. Freilich back in time standing. No chance at a tag from the first baseman, Priest. Freeman standing directly still in his stance. Now a bend in the knees. Here's the 1-1. High at the eyes on a fastball. It's 2-1. American flag in center, whipping outwards now. It's changed directions a few times early in the game, but mostly pushing out towards center. 2-1, runner takes off. Pitch is swung at and missed. The throw down gets Freilich by a country mile. A risky send to have Freilich go down to second base. The catcher has yet to steal a base on the young season, and he makes his way back to the dugout. That clears the base paths and puts a second out on the board for Brewster in the top of the second. Now it's a 2-2 count to Freeman. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. So in the matter of two pitches, Chatham goes to a runner on first with one out. The out of the inning, retired 1-2-3. But the A's still plenty of offensive production to lean on. Chatham will be leaning on that big-time first inning this entire game. On the other side, it's 5, 6, and 7 of the Brewster order. Curse, Rogers, and Priest with a lot of ground to make up. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Bottom of the second on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham in front of Brewster, 7-0 at Stony Brook Field. And the right-hander Tate Carey makes his way on for his second inning of work. Went through 4 batters in the first, allowed a full count walk to Brennan Lawson. That was it. Carson Kirst stands in from the right side. First pitch, low and away. Slider tails out for ball 1. That time, rather, the curveball from Carey. That's a pitch that Dennis Cook says he's trying to mix in a little bit more. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. Fastball dots the low outside corner. For Chatham, this would be one of a couple sizable wins in a row. Here's the 1-1. Off the plate. 2-1. That is, of course, if the Anglers can hold on to this 7-0 lead. Right now, Chatham in 4th place in the Eastern Division, which is good enough for a playoff spot at 5, 6, and 3. 2-1 pitch, low and away. Ball 3. With a Harwich loss tonight, Chatham would then jump the Mariners for the 3rd spot in the division. 3-1. Grounded towards the right side. Mendoza charges from second. Fields and fires to first. In time, there's one gone. Daniel Jackson in the right place at the right time at first base. Getting the rare start for him at first base. Just his second of the season.
The catcher from Georgia.
That brings up Drew Rogers, catcher from Georgia Tech. One gone, and the base path's empty in front of Rogers. Sky starting to get a little more blue here at Stony Brook Field. Sun setting behind the trees and covered by clouds. First pitch swinging out to left center field, and he watches it fly. A no-doubter from Drew Rogers on the first pitch from Tate Carey, and he sailed it well over the left center field wall. Brewster grabs one back. It is 7-1 A's in the bottom of the second. And instantly, once bat went to ball, Rogers had no doubt about it. Carey's fastball has been contacted a little bit today, but nothing is stuck between the poles until then. It's the first hit of the day so far for Brewster. So 7-1, the A's still on top, and Colin Priest from the left side. First pitch, off the plate on a fastball, it's 1-0.
It was awfully nice of Jake Hanley to jog back to the fence, but everyone and their brother knew that thing was way out.
Gave it a little courtesy, 1-0. Low and in, it's ball 2. So home runs for either side, both of them no doubters. Ford led off the ball game with one towards a similar spot. Here's the 2-0, called strike. Flips the upper inside corner on a fastball from Carey. When you compare his start today to the starter Alex Philpott of Brewster, pretty good. 2-1, flared foul. Got underneath it and ran the count to 2-2 on Colin Priest. Orange cleats, batting gloves, and elbow guard, all matching the Clemson colors for Priest. 2-2, low and in. Does not chase, and it's 3-2. Doesn't necessarily mesh well with the Brewster seafoam green and black that the Whitecaps have gone with today. 3-2. Low and in, that's ball 4. The second walk of the day issued by Carey. It's back-to-back base runners for Brewster. The one before that, the no-doubter home run from Drew Rogers. That brings up Michael Anderson for the first time today. Mind you, Chatham's 5-hole hitter Jackson Freeman has already been in twice. This is the first time that the 8-hole hitter for Brewster has stood in. First pitch, righty takes strike one at the knees. He bends him and exhales. Shakes his head at the call from Damari. Priest stands on first after the one-out walk. Here's the 0-1. Low and away. Miller dove towards his right side to grab the ball, kept himself up with his right hand, and got it to keep Priest from advancing to second. Carey generates a lot of power from a smaller frame. Here's the 1-1. Low and away. That's ball 2. Stands at just 6 feet tall, but his 209 pounds is a majority muscle. And that's how he guns his fastball up to 94 miles an hour. Here's the 2-1. Cut on and missed. A hefty hack that time from Michael Anderson. Cut through the fastball. It's 2-2. One gone and a runner on first. Chatham on top 7-1 in the bottom of the second. That one scored by Brewster came on a Drew Rogers home run in this frame. Check on first. Priest back in time. Here's the 2-2. Low and away from Carey, and he cannot get any chases on the off-speed, especially against these right-handed hitters. Has yet to strike out a batter. Came into today with just 1 walk and 5 strikeouts in his first 3 appearances. Payoff pitch. Low and away, that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued by Carey. It sends Priest up to second, Anderson over to first. And now that's 3 walks for Carey on the day. Again, came in with just 1. And now Noah Miller, the catcher, makes his way out to the mound to have a word with Carey. The youngest pitcher on this staff. Now Jay Powell makes his way out of the Chatham dugout. The A's pitching coach walks up to have a word with Carey. He joins Carey and Miller. Although the clouds are out and the sun is behind them, it is still a humid, kind of moist day at Stony Brook Field. 76 degrees was the temperature at first pitch. Not your usual temperature for such a cloudy day. The short sleeves for everybody on either side. Jay Powell makes his way back to the Chatham dugout. Leaves Carey on the mound. The right-hander has put runners on first and second with 1 gone and faces the 9-hole hitter Ty Head. First pitch righty-lefty. Called strike at the knees. Head started the bat around, pulled back, and if he had held up, likely would not have been a strike call had the pitch been a ball. He did not cross the plane. But based on the location, Ryan Damari gives him an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Low and in, runs it to 1-1. Lane pinched towards the bag at the shortstop spot. Gallagher at third, even with it. Daniel Jackson stands just offset from the first base bag and behind it. Here's the 1-1. Popped up, left side. Stays in fair territory, drifting foul. Gallagher over and makes the grab in front of the netting. That ball was a foot from being foul, and Gallagher secures it. An unlucky out for Ty Head. And that's the second of the inning picked up by the A's. Now the lineup turns over for Jacob McCombs. Ty Carey only needs to focus on the left-hander. He's 0 for 1 today. Popped out to Gallagher at third. So he's already had to make 2 plays in the field. Carey looks at the runner at second and deals. First pitch is a ball. Off the plate at 82 from Carey. You can hear the wind whipping. It once blew straight out. Now it's turned around and is blowing towards the left. 1-0. Pitch upstairs. Throw down to second. A back pick. Not in time. It skips in the dirt. Count runs to 2-0. It was a head-first slide from Priest to get back in. And Lane just could not secure the ball in his glove to put the tag on. Either way, it would have been late. But Miller staying aggressive behind the dish. Priest takes another leadoff. Lane stands directly behind him. 2-0. Popped up. Stays in the backstop. Drifting foul. And it lands foul. Miller, the catcher, flipped the mask off and ran that way, but had no chance at making the play. Chatham has gotten 2 outs of that sort. Pop-ups that drifted into foul territory but stayed on the grass. Enough to grab both times for Gallagher. 2-1 the count to McCombs. Carey's pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. McCombs took such a big hack that his right hand let go of the bat as the left-hander turned all the way around his body. The gray dipped bat nearly left both of his hands. It's 2-2 with 2 gone. Here's the pitch. Popped up towards the backstop, drifting backwards, and another foul ball. A lot of cardio from Miller in the catcher spot. He's tried to make both catching plays here, but hasn't had any luck, and the glass-breaking sound for what feels like the 6th or 7th time this game. First time you'll get someone. The next couple, that doesn't seem like it'll work. 2-2. Swing and a pop-up stays on the infield. Mendoza at second comes in on it and makes the grab for out number 3. So Carey forces a little contact, a couple of walks, and a big home run from Drew Rogers. But the A's still in the lead. It's 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left on base from back-to-back walks issued from Carey. On the other side, Daniel Jackson, Jake Hanley, and Noah Miller continue what's been a day for Chatham on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Mass. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services. Cape Cod 5, a community bank committed to service. Top 3 at Stony Brook Field. Chatham on top 7-1. All of those runs coming in the top of the first. It's Daniel Jackson from the right side first. He'll face Lance Davis on for his second inning. He came in relief. First pitch. Called strike. Breaking ball that hit the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1 to Jackson. He had a 2-run double that missed a home run by a few feet earlier. 0-1. Fastball low and away. It's ball 1. That double, though, did end up bringing in 2 runs and drove in Gallagher and Mendoza. Runs 2 and 3 of the ballgame. 1-1. Cracked out towards left field, and it's over the head of Curse at third and out into left. Jackson rounds first. He's chugging for second. The throw from left, not in time. Jackson is in standing. It's back-to-back doubles for Daniel Jackson. This one leads off the top of the third, and it's the 7th hit of the day for the A's. That was a missile off the bat of Daniel Jackson. 102 miles an hour. It scorched over the head of Curse, who could not make the grab at third. Now Jake Hanley from the left side. First pitch, fouled off at the plate. Tipped towards the backstop. 0-1. Hanley's first at-bat, he struck out. That came back in the first. The only success Alex Philpott had in this start today. Here's the 0-1. Called strike. Hanley could not hold back on the fastball on the outside. Went all the way around. 0-2. Runner on second is Jackson. He takes a lead off. Nobody gone in the top of the third. Chatham on top 7-1. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Hanley. He makes his way back to the dugout. That's out number 1 in the top of the third. That brings up Noah Miller, the catcher. Miller's first at-bat, he got drilled on a fastball, 92 miles an hour, right off his left shoulder. The right-hander stands in. First pitch from Davis. Called strike. 0-1. That time the slider center cut for Miller. He laid off it the whole way. Here's the 0-1. Upstairs and in. It's a ball and a strike on Miller. It's been a tough start to the Cape Cod League season for Noah Miller. He's been on the team since day one. The bat just has not come alive at 2-24. But he's kept himself in the lineup with defense. His arm from the catcher's spot has been a plus. 1-1. Called strike. Miller lifted up the hands. And as soon as that strike call came in, he grimaced and asked home plate umpire Ryan Damari where that ball was. He thought it was on the inside. Damari said no, that clipped the edge. Here's the 1-2. Runner takes off for third. Grounded up the middle. Fielded at short. The throw onto first in time. That's out number 2. Jackson does make his way up to third.
Now batting, the shortstop from San Diego, number 1, Isaiah Lane.
Fisher had to come in to field it on a few hops. Stuck the glove down and eyed Daniel Jackson as he made his way to third, but knew he couldn't get him there. Had to toss out Miller at first. That brings up Isaiah Lane for the second time today. He already has 2 RBIs that came on a single back in the first. First pitch, popped out towards right field. Down the line and fair, it drops down for a base hit, and he's got another RBI. It brings in Jackson from third, and that's 8 runs for the A's. 8-1, Chatham leads in the top of the third. Back-to-back singles from Lane. The right-hander has been just a little late on, but it's worked in his favor. He's lofted both into shallow right field. Both drop down in front of the right fielder McCombs. So for the third time today, it's Henry Ford. First pitch, called ball. Throw down on a back pick to first, not in time. Lane slides in head first. Ford today has already brought in 3 runs. Had a leadoff homer. Then still in that first, drove in 2. 0-1, runner takes off. Pitch is high, the throw down. In time, they got him. A perfectly placed throw from Drew Rogers landed right on the feet of Lane. And all Lawson had to do was snag that ball and hold it in the right spot. Lane went right into it for out number 3. Chatham, though, puts more runs on the board courtesy of Isaiah Lane. He's got 3 RBIs today. It's 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on the base paths. Alrighty, when we come back, Brewster takes back over for the bottom of the third and the top of the order. Whitecaps trail 8-1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Bottom of the third on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham in front 8-1 as we welcome you into Stony Brook Field with Jake Klein. I'm Hudson Ridley. The Michigan battery of Noah Miller and Tate Carey is done warming up. Carey walks back up the mound and makes way for the shortstop, Cal Fisher, who stands in from the right side. After Fisher, it's Lawson and Sosa for Brewster. 3 today have combined to go 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch. Called strike on the inner half. 0-1. Fisher lined out to Hanley and left his first time up. A ball that really didn't have to make Hanley move at all. He took a few steps in to squeeze it. That was the second out of the first. Here's the 0-1. Popped up, out to shallow center field. Lane goes back on it from short. Waves off both Hanley and Ford and makes the grab in shallow left center. That's out number 1.
Now battling. The second baseman from Florida.
That brings up Brendan Lawson. Drew a walk earlier today. A first base runner of the day for Brewster, one of 3 walks that Carey has given up. First pitch, swung on and fouled off left side. A slicing foul ball that curved over top of the trees. Lawson's stance certainly interesting. That bat way above his head, he waves it. Here's the 0-1. Well high and away on a fastball that just escaped the hand of Carey. Miller didn't even make a motion to attempt to get it. It slammed up against the chain link fence here at Stony Brook Field that makes up this Brewster backstop. It's a 1-1 count. Brendan Lawson could take the pitch off. Here's the 1-1. Taken at the knees. Fastball for a strike. The wind has yet again changed directions. It blew from left to right, now right to left, switching back and forth every so often. 1-2. High and away again. This time Miller got the glove to it, but could not stop it from going to the backstop again. It's 2-2. After Carey has had 2 pitches escape him in the at-bat, Dennis Cook from the Chatham dugout barks out some encouragement for his young right-hander. Here's the 2-2. Grounded right side. It stays fair. Jackson gloves it at first and beats Lawson to the bag. That is out number 2. Daniel Jackson, not the usual first baseman, has played all around the infield, and he shares a laugh with Mendoza on the right side of Chatham's infield. Jackson has just played 1 game of catcher this year, despite that being his designation. Mostly a corner outfielder, an occasional designated hitter for Chatham. This is his 2nd game at first base. After Brewster goes 2 up, 2 down, it's Alex Sosa from the right side. Rather, from the left. Here's the first pitch from Carey. Sprayed foul backwards.
It's funny, the other day at batting practice, I guess yesterday, Dennis Cook and Daniel Jackson were chatting at the batting cage. Dennis said, "Where are you going to play next year at Georgia?" Daniel said, "Catcher." Dennis said, "Oh, I think I'll get you there some more."
He's only played once there this year. This is game 15. 0-1. Called strike on the inner half. The fastball from Carey. It's funny because Jackson really has not protested playing in the corner outfield. He's done a fine job there. He's played 14 of the 15 games to this point. Only one of them was behind the dish, where he did play a good catcher. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Carey sets down Brewster 1-2-3 and picks up his first K of the day. That one comes against Alex Sosa. And now Carey has worked through 3 innings, only allowing 1 run. This frame, it's no runs on no hits, no errors, and no runners reaching base for Brewster. On the other side, the A's take back over. Henry Ford in for the 3rd time today. He's already driven in 3 runs. 8 in the last 24 hours for Ford. Back for the top of the 4th in just a moment on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GR
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love. From the baseball diamond to post-game keno with friends, the lottery helps support all 351 cities and towns across the state. The Mass Lottery, celebrate the night with keno. Jake Klein has the top of the fourth. Jake?
Lance Davis, the Brewster right-hander, back to the mound, faces the top of the Chatham order, 8-1 A's. First pitch to Henry Ford, cut on and missed. 0-1. A's struck for 7 runs on 6 hits in the top of the first, now lead at 8-1 in the fourth. 0-1 to Ford. Fastball called a strike, outer third. 0-2. Ford 2 for 2, solo home run to lead off the game, and then a 2-run single in the second. 0-2. Breaking ball down and away. That 2-run single was actually in the first. Came up twice in the same inning.
He batted in the third as well. If the at-bat had stuck around and Lane hadn't been thrown out, it would have been 3 at-bats in 3 innings.
1-2 pitch. Breaking ball downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So all Henry Ford has done since he arrived back from the Citi Field exhibition game at 3:45 in the morning yesterday is drive in 8 runs. 2-2. Breaking ball tagged foul on a line into the Brewster bullpen down the left field side. Stays 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ford. His home run in the first, a towering shot about foul pole height, 20 feet up into the trees beyond the left field fence. 2-2, down and away. Skips past the catcher Rogers and rolls to the chain link backstop. Count goes full on Henry Ford. Gallagher next, and then Ethan Mendoza, 3 right-handed hitters at the top of Chatham's order. Here's the payoff. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Ford hops out of the right-handed box and takes the slow walk past Ethan Mendoza in the on-deck circle and shrugs at Mendoza as he looks back at Davis on the mound. So 1 out, top of the fourth. Here's Gavin Gallagher, right-handed hitter out of North Carolina. He's 1 of 2 to start. Single and a run scored in the first, and then ended that inning with a ground out 3-1. Davis winds up, first pitch. Fastball in the dirt, 93 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Gallagher with the natural grain bat again today. Started yesterday's game with a bright pink-dipped bat. 1-0. Breaking ball hit on the ground, left side. It gets past both the third baseman and shortstop. It trickles into left. Gallagher turns first. He stops there. It's a 1-out single. And there's a runner on first for Ethan Mendoza. Kirst, the third baseman, tried to cut it off running left. It skipped under his glove. And then Cal Fisher, the shortstop, sprinting right into the hole in shallow left field. Saw it just nick off the very tip of his glove and kind of die in the grass. So Gallagher takes his lead off of first with 1 out. Davis comes set on the mound. Pick to first, Gallagher dives back safely. Chatham 0 for 2 trying to steal on Brewster today. Chase Freilich and Isaiah Lane both thrown out. Right-handed hitting Ethan Mendoza in, first pitch. Fastball downstairs, a ball and no strikes. Mendoza also 1 of 2. Singled in the first and scored, flew out to center as well. 1-0. Fastball chopped down the third base line. Kirst gloves it. Off-balance throw to first is in time. Priest came off the bag as he stretched for it, but got the heel back down. Just a half step before the base runner, Mendoza. It does move Gallagher up to second with 2 out. And here's Chase Freilich.
Now batting, the designated hitter from Auburn, number 6, Chase
Freilich, a left-handed hitter, popped out to third in that big first inning for Chatham. Was hit by a pitch and caught stealing in the second. Big burly left-handed hitter. Davis in the stretch on the mound. First pitch. Breaking ball, check swing. He went around, says the home plate umpire Ryan Damari. No need for an appeal. It's 0-1. It was a low breaking ball. Rogers caught it just above the dirt behind home plate. Davis comes set again. Glances at second. Deals 0-1. Swung on and just nicked foul. Picked on one hop by the catcher Rogers. No balls and 2 strikes on Chase Freilich. Chatted earlier with Hudson on Catch of the Day about his tennis days. Says he's been following along with Wimbledon by watching the reruns on YouTube after games.
Picked Carlos Alcaraz, though, a favorite, not a bold move.
0-2. Breaking ball hit on the ground right side, through into the outfield. Gallagher gets the windmill. He comes home to score standing. Chase Freilich delivers an RBI single, and Chatham makes it 9-1 in the fourth. So the A's now ought to have their eyes on a run rule victory.
You'd have to imagine with how long this game has taken as well, an hour 20 minutes in, that at this point, in the top of the fourth, it could be a run rule or the lights at Brewster, which do not exist.
First pitch to Jackson. Freeman is hammered. Deep right center field. Near the wall, it one-hops the wall and skips into the trees in right center. A bad break for Chatham as Freeman clubs a ground rule double and Freilich forced to stop at third.
That was unfortunate. You could just see, based on the speed and where it landed as soon as it took a hop, you knew it was going over the wall. A foot or so lower. It didn't clear by much. A foot or so lower, and Chatham is driving in one more run. Instead, Freilich is over on third.
Freeman extends his hitting streak to 8 straight games. And now there are runners on second and third with 2 out for Daniel Jackson. He's already got 2 doubles today. First pitch. Breaking ball clips the outside corner. 0-1. Freilich on third, Freeman on second after his 2-out double. A 1-2 Jackson. Fastball just off the plate away. A ball and a strike. His first double hit the left field fence right by the foul pole. His second, a sharp line drive to left over a leaping third baseman Carson Kearse. Davis is 1-1. Fastball called a strike, low outside corner. Jackson grimaces and shakes his head as he backs out of the right-handed box. Now glances up at the top of the press box, directly behind home plate, and digs back into the right-handed box. Second and third, 2 out. Jackson set. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball popped foul in the air, out of play on the first base side. Stays a ball and 2 strikes. Couple of tufts of Jackson's blonde hair sticking out the top of his royal blue Chatham A's helmet. Taps the bat on home plate, ready for another 1-2 from Davis. The right-hander deals. Upstairs. Chin high against the right-handed hitter. Jackson just ever so slightly started his hands around, but held up. 2-2. Freilich leads off of third. Freeman off of second with 2 out. A run already in the fourth. Chatham leads 9-1. 2-2. Breaking ball. Appeal to first. No swing, says Jake Brick to the first base umpire. Low outside breaking ball. Had a pretty good view at the check swing from our vantage point. Behind home plate offset toward the first base side. It was close. Instead, the count runs full on Jackson. Davis winds up. The payoff pitch. Hit him. An 84-mile-per-hour breaking ball off the front left shoulder. Jackson sheds the red Evo Shield arm guard and Marucci shin guard as he jogs to first. It's the 4th hit by pitch by Brewster pitchers today, and the bases are loaded for Jake Hanley.
All 4 coming against different hitters as well. A lot of guys having to wear it. 3 fastballs, 1 off-speed for those count.
Big left-handed hitter digs in. First pitch from Davis. Upstairs with a heater. 94 miles an hour. It's 1-0. Action down the left field line in the Brewster bullpen. That's Nate Britton, right-hander from Wake Forest, who's up. 1-0. Fastball, middle. Called a strike. It's 1-1. Nine runs on 11 hits for Chatham. A run on 1 hit. The Drew Rogers solo homer for Brewster. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Hanley holds up. 2 balls and a strike. He's 0 of 2 today, 2 swinging strikeouts. One against the starter Alex Philpott, the other against the reliever Lance Davis, who's now into his 4th inning, 3rd full inning of relief. Winds up the 2-1. Fastball bounced to the right side, gobbled up at second by Lawson. He tosses to first in time to end the inning. So Chatham gets a run on the Chase Fralick RBI single, but the A's leave the bases loaded as Hanley bounces out 4-3. A run on 3 hits, no errors, and the bases left loaded. After 3.5 at Stony Brook Field, Chatham still in front, 9-1 over Brewster. Take Carey back to the mound. He faces 5, 6, 7 in the Whitecap order when we come back. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Netting Professionals is proud to be the official netting partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Whether it's batting practice equipment, facility netting, custom wall padding, or so much more, Netting Professionals is the top choice in the industry for facility equipment solutions. Visit nettingpros.com today to learn more. Jake and Hudson with you, Diamond Side at Stony Brook Field in Brewster. First visit to Brewster for the Chatham A's this season, and it's off to a roaring start. 9-1 the A's lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And the Whitecaps set to send Carson Kearse, Drew Rogers, and Colin Priest to the plate against Chatham's righty starter, Tate Carey. First pitch from Carey. Fastball in tight on Kearse. Right-handed hitter takes for the first ball. Carey still hovering in that 92-93 range with the fastball. He's been there all day. 1-0. Breaking ball clips the top of the zone. A ball and a strike. Dennis Cook has preached before both of Carey's starts that breaking ball will be the key to his success. 1-1. Hit on the ground, up the middle. It gets through into center field. A base hit. Leadoff single for Carson Kearse. And there's a runner on with nobody out for Drew Rogers, who homered last time.
Now batting, left catcher from Georgia Tech, number 16, Drew.
Rogers gets a nice hand from the Brewster faithful. He smashed a solo shot to deep left center into the trees on the fly. Last time up. First pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. 0-1. Beyond the chain link left center field fence, covered in ads, there's a dirt path about 10 or 15 feet back the trees which surround the outfield at Stony Brook Field. Pick to first, and the runner dives back safely. 0-1, still the count on Drew Rogers at the plate. Carry from the stretch. Here's the 0-1. Fastball called a strike. Low outside corner again. No balls and 2 strikes on Rogers. Bickers with home plate umpire Ryan Damari as he digs back into the box. Another throw to first. Curse back safely with a dive ahead of the 0-2 pitch. There are a couple of fans in the outfield, maybe 24 or so. Here's the 0-2. Fastball popped foul, straight back, out of play over the backstop, stays 0-2. Some are leaning up against the chain link fence in the areas covered by advertising. Others sitting out in the newly installed bleachers and what they're apparently calling Cappy's Pavilion in left center field.
It is a hill, but that could count as a pavilion if you call it that.
0-2 in the dirt with a breaking ball. Skips away from Miller. He cannot find it. Finally tracks it down on the third base side and foul ground as Curse races up to second on the wild pitch. So the count goes to 1-2 on Rogers as Tate Carey flips the ball toward the Brewster dugout on the third base side. Gets a new one from catcher Noah Miller ahead of a 1-2 pitch. Runner on second with nobody out. 9-1 the Chatham lead in the bottom of the fourth. Carey comes set, looks at the runner at second, now comes home. Fastball lined into center field, a base hit. Curse sprints around third. The throw in from Ford goes to second. Drew Rogers delivers. It's an RBI single. He's driven in both Whitecap runs today. It's 9-2 Chatham in the fourth.
We talked about earlier in the season, sometimes Daniel Jackson was the offense for Chatham. Drew Rogers has been the offense for Brewster. It's not just those 2 runs he's batted in. He has 2 of the 3 hits, the only 3 that Brewster has had on Carey today.
Left-handed hitting Colin Priest steps in, first baseman from Clemson. First pitch, fastball outside, 1-0. Can we circle back to Cappy's Pavilion again?
I would love to. Again, it's not a pavilion, it's a small hill.
Pick to first, dive back safely.
It depends on your definition of pavilion, I guess.
Well, pavilion, at least in my mind, necessitates a roof. There is no roof out there. Just a couple of sets of bleachers and some picnic tables. 1-0. Fastball called a strike. Outside corner, 1-1. I mean, at the very least, it's not debatable. A pavilion is a structure of some kind.
It must be.
There are no walls. There is no roof. Nothing.
We have to involve the dictionary here.
Pick to first. And again, Rogers dives back safely head first.
Here is what the Oxford Dictionary says. Quote, a summer house or other decorative building used as a shelter in a park or large garden.
1-1 outside with a fastball. 2-1. There is no shelter out there. If there were a storm, you could not seek shelter in Cappy's Pavilion.
That's almost deceptive.
2-1 pitch. Fastball called a strike right at the knees to the left-handed hitter. stares down at Brewster's third base coach as the count goes to 2-2. Maybe more to come at Cappy's Pavilion.
Perhaps.
2-2. Fastball lined straight back. Off the protective netting above the chain link fence. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Remains the count on Colin Priest. Michael Anderson is next, right-handed hitting outfielder from Arkansas. First, another 2-2 from Carey. Here it is. Breaking ball down and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Only a single strikeout for Carey, who's now into his 4th inning of work. He got Alex Sosa swinging to end his 1-2-3 third. Runner on first with nobody out. The payoff pitch. Fastball inside. Looked close from here. Noah Miller left the glove extended out over home plate, but Ryan Damari does not bite. It's the 4th walk for Tate Carey. And Brewster has runners on first and second. Still nobody out here in the 4th.
And that was not typical of Carey, too. He came in with just 1 walk through his first 3 appearances. That was through nearly 6 innings.
Right-handed hitting Michael Anderson comes up. First pitch, fastball on the outside corner. Looked awfully similar to the pitch he just threw to Priest, who of course was a lefty. Anderson a righty. 0-1 pitch. Fastball outside. Miller pops up to throw but doesn't. A ball and a strike. Jay Powell, the Chatham pitching coach, calls out from the first base side dugout at Miller to stay down. One downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. As a catcher, when you pop up to throw like that, you not only lose the chance to frame the pitch, make a ball look like a strike, you also give the umpire only about a half second to see where it was. 2-1. Breaking ball. Did he go? Yes, says the first base umpire, Jake Brichta. Low breaking ball. And Anderson went around on appeal. So the count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners are on first and second with nobody out. Carey comes set. Looks at second. 2-2 pitch. Fastball outside. He works another full count, shaking his head as he tucks the glove in between his side and right arm and rubs the ball with both bare hands. Now takes the mound again and comes set. 3-2 to Anderson. Here it is. Fastball called, strike 3. Just above knee high. Anderson started toward first and then pulled back once Ryan Damari made the call. Second strikeout for Carey and a big first out in this bottom of the 4th. That brings up the left-handed hitting Ty Head, but first a trip to the mound from the Chatham pitching coach Jay Powell. He strides across the white line and brings the entire infield in, ahead of a meeting with Carey. The left-handed hitting Head is 0 for 1. He popped out in foul ground to Gavin Gallagher at third, his first time up. Jacob McCombs, the left-handed hitting leadoff man, is next for Brewster after Head.
This is a long chat with the full infield right now.
And just as Ryan Damari, the home plate umpire, steps out in front of home plate to start his walk out to break it up, Powell turns back and walks to Chatham's dugout. The A's are in front 9-2, bottom of the 4th inning at Stony Brook Field, hunting for a 4th win in 5 games. So right on left matchup. Tate Carey, the Chatham starter, against the Brewster 9-hole hitter Ty Head. Third baseman Gallagher comes in on the grass, protecting against a potential bunt. Carey deals, no square. Fastball taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. A's out hitting the Whitecaps, 11-3. No errors for either side so far. Wind continues to whip out to right at Stony Brook Field. Again, no lights. When it's too dark, this game ends. 0-1. Fastball called a strike. Same spot. Outer third, right around the kneecaps.
And Jake, the cloud cover at Stony Brook Field certainly will not help.
It's felt dark since we've been here. Runners take their leads off of first and second with one out, and before the pitch, Carey steps off. Pitch clock was down to 2 seconds. Head at the plate, 0 for 1. He's in an 0-2 hole. Carey set. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs. Tried to get him with the high heat. Went up to 93 on the radar gun. But Head does not offer. Gallagher now even with the bag at third with 2 strikes. Carries 1-2. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Isaiah Lane pinched toward the bag. He's the shortstop. Mendoza more straight up at second. 2-2 pitch. Fastball grounded right side, right at Mendoza. Fields between his legs. Flip to second for 1. Relay to first. Double play. Chatham escapes the jam. A 4-6-3 twin killing off the bat of Ty Head. And that ends the 4th. Brewster gets a run on 2 hits, no errors, and after the double play, just 1 man left on base. After 4 innings at Stony Brook Field, Brewster has a lot of work to do. 9-2 the Chatham lead. It's a new Whitecap pitcher when we return. Don't go anywhere. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Baby, you know she comes around just about 5 feet 4 from her head to the ground. You know she comes around here just about midnight. She make her feel so good, Lord. She make her feel alright. And her name is G. L. Whoa. R. I. G-L-Y. Gloria. G-L-Y. Gloria. I'm gonna shout it all night. Gloria. I'm gonna shout it every day. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Cape Cod Baseball League and shares a reminder that when you donate blood, you give someone the gift of life. Blood donated through Cape Cod Healthcare benefits your friends, family, and neighbors across Cape Cod. Learn more and schedule a donation appointment at www.capecodhealth.org/give-blood. Cape Cod Healthcare, caring, commitment, community. It's a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen for Brewster. The Whitecaps bring on the 6'4", 200-pound right-hander Nate Britton out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and Wake Forest. A couple of defensive changes to alert you as well. The left fielder, Michael Anderson, has moved to first base. There is a new left fielder. That's Adam Magpok out of Boston College. And Brewster has a new right fielder as well. Right-hander Britton comes on. He makes his first appearance. Pardon me, this is his fourth appearance, and the first pitch to Noah Miller, grounded back to the mound, speared by Britton. He flips to first in time for the first out. So 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch for Nate Britton. And here comes Isaiah Lane. Ryan Martin is the new Brewster right fielder. He's out of Dallas Baptist. So 1 out with nobody on. 9-2 Chatham in the top of the 5th. And here's Isaiah Lane. Britton deals. Fastball upstairs above the white Chatham script on Lane's blue jersey. 1-0. So Colin Priest and Jacob McCombs are out of the Brewster lineup. 1-0 pitch. Fastball chopped towards short. Fisher charges, grabs it on 2 hops. Sidearm throw to first in time for the second out. Smooth sailing to start for Nate Britton. He retires the first 2 batters he faces on 3 pitches. Now the right-handed hitting Henry Ford steps in. Two of 3 today. And ahead of the first pitch, time called by the catcher, Drew Rogers. Glances toward Brewster's third base side dugout. And now resumes. Right against right, Britton's first pitch to Henry Ford. Here it is. Fastball inside. A ball and no strikes. Ford crushed that leadoff homer. A sign of things to come in this game for the A's. 1-0 pitch. Fastball called a strike right down the chute. 1-1. A's eventually scored 7 in the first. Tacked on 1 in each the third and the fourth. Britton set. Nobody on 2 out, the 1-1. Fastball called a strike. Low outside corner. And Ford behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. He struck out swinging last time against the reliever Lance Davis. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ford K's for the second time today, and it's a 1-2-3 inning out of the Brewster bullpen for Nate Britton. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're halfway home on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham in front of Brewster 9-2 at Stony Brook Field.
The Cape's leader, sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, give me all a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, give me all a prayer. Tommy's got his 6-string high.
We're halfway there on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham in front of Brewster, 9-2 on Stony Brook Field, at Stony Brook Field. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. With Hudson Ridley, I'm Jake Klein, Diamond side in Brewster, where the A's put up 7 in the first, and now Tate Carey, the Chatham starter, his day is done. And he gives way to the left-hander Gavin Jones out of Oklahoma, who makes his Cape League debut. Just arrived into town a couple of days ago, back when Chatham only had 9 position players, and there was conversation after Jones took some batting practice that he might end up as the emergency 10th position player because he has some outfield experience at the junior college level, but not to be, and now he makes his debut on the mound. So Ryan Martin leads it off. Right fielder out of Dallas Baptist, who just entered in the last half inning defensively. Jones winds up, first pitch. Fastball upstairs, 92 miles an hour. 1-0. Martin comes in for Jacob McCombs, who goes 0 for 2 with 2 pop-outs on the day. 1-0. Fastball popped up. First base side out of play. And the foul ball makes it 1-1. Chatham just lost the last of its 2 Dallas Baptist Patriots this summer. 1-1. Punched foul in the air toward the school. Chang's on top of the hill behind the first base side dugout. Mason Peters of DBU made his final Cape League appearance for the A's last night. 1-2. High and tight with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Left on right, Jones looks in, winds up, the 2-2 to Martin. In the dirt, it hit him. It bounced first and then kicked right off of his toe. Tried to back out of the way of it, but can't escape the Jones slider. Hit by pitch, puts a Brewster runner on with nobody out. So Martin jogs down to first, and Cal Fisher is next. He's the shortstop from Florida State.
Number 12, Cal Fisher.
Lefty comes set on the mound, stares down the runner at first with nobody out. First pitch home, swing and a miss. Fastball at 91, and he gets it past Fisher. Hudson, you've got a check of Major League Baseball scores presented by Mahi Gold.
Sure do, Jake. 3 games in action right now, all 3 early. Padres and Phillies scoreless in the bottom of the 3rd.
0-1, outside with the heater. 1 ball, 1 strike.
2 other games in the top of the 1st. The Twins on top of the Marlins, 1-0. Marlins, rather Twins, already with a runner on second. And then the Tigers and Nats knotted at 0 in the top of the 1st.
1-1. Fastball popped up. In the air down the right field line. Freeman sprints in from right. It drops. Fair. Runner had to hold up. They throw to second, and they get him on the force. It landed just inside the chalk down the right field line, in between Freeman, the right fielder, Mendoza, the second baseman, and Jackson, the outgoing first baseman. But because there was a chance it would be caught, Martin had to stay at first, and so the throw-in was easy from Freeman. It's a 9-6 force out. You don't see that every day. And there's one gone. Left-handed hitting Brendan Lawson in. First pitch, swing and a miss. There's that breaking ball. Second from Gavin Jones. Lawson cuts through it. 0-1. Left-on-left matchup. Jones stares at first. Now comes home. Breaking ball just off the plate away. A ball and a strike. Jones just finished up his first season at Oklahoma as a sophomore after transferring from McLennan Community College. 1-1. Fastball, check swing. Appeal to the second base umpire, and he says he went around. The left side umpire, Tony Brunetti, is positioned in front of the second baseman, Ethan Mendoza. In no better position to see a check swing than the home plate umpire himself, and yet they appeal anyway, and it works out in Chatham's favor. So now 1-2. Jones deals, swing and a miss. Lawson strikes out swinging. 2 gone in the first Cape League inning for Gavin Jones. Brings up the right-handed hitting Alex Sosa, designated hitter from NC State, set to transfer to Miami. And instead, a pinch hitter sent up to the plate. This is Colton Coates. First pitch to the righty, downstairs with the fastball. 1-0. Coates, a right-handed hitting infielder out of Louisiana Tech. 14th at bat of the season, hitting .385 so far. 1-0. Fastball lined foul. Over the backstop on the first base side. A ball and a strike. Coates 5 of 13 in his first 4 Cape League games for Brewster. 6 foot, 207-pounder. 1-1. Fastball tagged into right field. It drops in front of Freeman, a base hit. Fisher moves to second. Colton Coates delivers a 2-out pinch hit single. And Brewster has runners on first and second with 2 out.
And that's a guy for Brewster right there. Limited appearances, only his 15th at bat of the year. Like you said, Jay, came into it hitting .385 and put good wood on a couple of balls. Ended up with that single.
Here's Carson Curse, right-handed hitting third baseman. First pitch from the lefty. Breaking ball darts down and in. 79 miles an hour, 1-0. Jamie Shevchuk has already put 3 reserves into the lineup. His team down 9-2 in the home half of the 5th. 1-0 pitch. Fastball inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Adam Magpok out of Boston College came in to play left. He bats in the 7 hole. Jones set, 2-0 pitch. Fastball drilled right center field and deep. Ford sprints back near the fence. He dives, can't get it, and rolls up against the wall. Fisher comes around to score. Coates not far behind him. And Carson Curse pulls into third with a 2-run triple. Brewster cuts the Chatham lead to 9-4 in the 5th. Back-to-back hard hits off of the lefty Gavin Jones. And now a runner on third with 2 out.
The catcher from Georgia Tech, number 16, Drew Rogers.
So here's Drew Rogers, right-handed hitting catcher from Georgia Tech. He's already driven in 2 today. Solo homer in the 2nd, RBI single in the 4th. First pitch, caught on and missed. Low breaking ball right around the knees, 91 miles an hour. Rogers out in front of it. Runner on third with 2 out, 2 runs already in the inning. 0-1, high. A ball and a strike. Rogers with a 2-for-2 start to the day and halfway to the cycle. 1-1. Fastball called a strike outside corner. 1-2. So Jones a pitch away from stranding a runner on third in the 5th. A's in front 9-4. Lefty comes set. 1-2. Breaking ball hit on the ground toward short. Lane charges from 1 foot. He throws to first in time to end the inning. But the Carson curse triple, the big blow in the bottom of the 5th. It plates a pair for Brewster. They score 2 runs on 2 hits. No Chatham errors and 1 man left on base. After 5 at Stony Brook Field, Chatham up 9-4 over Brewster, and Britton comes back to the mound for the Caps. Up next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
I got so down and out in Frisco, tired of the pills and the rain. I picked up headed for the sunshine. I left a good thing behind. Seemed all of our love was in vain. Now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train.
For over 100 years, Rogers Gray has helped protect Cape Cod families and businesses. Now, as the Baldwin Group, they're the same home team with the new name on the jersey. From your first car to your dream home to your business venture, the Baldwin Group brings expanded resources as your insurance partner in protecting the possible with the same local service you trust. The Baldwin Group is proud to be the official insurance partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit baldwin.com/RogersGray to learn more. Right-hander Nate Britton comes back to the mound for Brewster. The Whitecaps have cut the Chatham lead to 9-4. As we go to the 6th at Stony Brook Field. Sun seems to have dropped even further, or at least hidden even more behind the clouds. Just a pale shade of gray hanging over Stony Brook Field. Some puffier white clouds and streaks of blue sky in the distance way beyond right field. As Gavin Gallagher comes to the plate in the 6th. Nate Britton, the Wake Forest righty, worked a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. He'll face Gallagher, Mendoza, and Freilich, 2 righties and a lefty in the top of the 6th. First pitch to Gallagher on the way. Fastball high, 1-0. Britton came in relief of Lance Davis last inning. Third Brewster pitcher, 1-0. High and tight again, 2-0. Got Miller to ground out right back to him, then Lane to ground out to short. Struck out Henry Ford to end the inning. 2-0. Called a strike. Gallagher checked his swing, probably held up, but no need for an appeal on a low fastball right around the knees. Bottom of the zone, it's 2-1. Britton set, nobody on, nobody out. The 2-1. Fastball popped up. Jams Gallagher, and he pushes it in the air toward the hill. Populated with plenty of fans. And rises up toward the school. Pretty steep, but plenty of blankets and chairs up there near the top. 2-2 on Gavin Gallagher, 2 for 3 today. Here's the pitch from Britton, way high. Skips off the catcher's mitt and dings off a pole on the chain link fencing that makes up the lower section of the backstop behind home plate at Stony Brook Field. Count full on Gallagher. Nobody on, nobody out. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Britton gets the fastball past him at 95. He's retired the first 4 he's faced out of the bullpen with 2 strikeouts. And now Ethan Mendoza comes up. Hudson has a check of the Cape League scoreboard presented by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza.
Yes, I do, Jake. All 8 other teams in action. Top of the 6th, YD leads Falmouth 8-7 in Dennis.
First pitch to Mendoza, cracked, foul in the air down the right field line. YD had won 9 straight until yesterday's loss to Katuitt and seems right back at it.
The Kettleers went perfect into the 7th inning in that one. Katuitt on top right now of Hyannis 2-1, last placed in the West, on top of first place in the West. That's bottom of the 4th.
0-1. Fastball upstairs, 1-1. So maybe the Kettleers starting to figure it out in year 1 under Lauren Hibbs.
Same time as Chatham. 2 more games, Wareham and Harwich. Harwich actually just broke the tie as we're speaking. Harwich on top 3-2 in the 4th.
1-1, down and away, 2-1.
Runners on the corners right now for the Mariners. They lead Wareham 3-2. The only other game right now, Bourne on top of Orleans, 3-2 in the top of the 4th. If that holds, that's 9 losses for Orleans. That would lead the East.
2-1 on the way. Here it is. Up and in on Mendoza. Backs out of the right-handed box. 3 balls and a strike. Britton comes set on the mound. Right-hander taps his front foot. Now it's still. 3-1 home. Swung on and drilled. Left field. Magpok goes back on it, and he makes the grab. Just a few feet past where he was originally positioned. Backpedals to it for the second out.
Now batting the designated hitter from Auburn, number 6, Chase Taylor.
So with nobody on and 2 out, Britton has now retired 5 straight, and Chase Freilich comes up. Grounded an RBI single into right field last time up. Brought home Chatham's 9th and most recent run. Here's the pitch. Fastball called a strike, outer third, 0-1. Since the A's left the bases loaded in the 4th, they have not had a base runner. Now we're in the top of the 6th, 0-1, downstairs. A ball and a strike, shin high on the left-handed hitting Freilich. One pitch. Popped up, left side of the infield. Third baseman Curse ranges over. He makes the grab in front of the shortstop to end the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Nate Britton on the mound. Strikes out Gallagher, gets Mendoza to fly out and Freilich to pop out. And the A's do not score. No hits, no runs, no base runners to the bottom of the 6th at Stony Brook Field. It's 9-4 A's. Gavin Jones comes out for his second inning when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Couldn't
Quincy College is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League and celebrate the students chasing their dreams on and off the field. Quincy College, Plymouth, Quincy, and online. Let's get to work. To the bottom of the 6th in Brewster. 9-4 the Chatham lead on the back of a 7-run top of the first. And Gavin Jones, the Oklahoma left-hander, comes out for the second inning of his Cape League debut. Set to face Magpok, Anderson, and Head. 2 right-handed hitters and then a left-handed hitter for the lefty Jones. As Magpok strides to the plate, the 5'8", 165-pounder out of Boston College comes up. He entered the game as a defensive replacement in the 5th. First pitch, bottom 6. Fastball lined into center field, a base hit. 1 hops in front of Henry Ford in center. Magpok sends it almost right back from where it came. It's a leadoff single in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting, the first baseman from Penn State, number 40, Michael
Hudson, the runs came a little bit earlier for Chatham today, but this feels a lot like yesterday's game where it's just a huge Chatham lead and then, okay, what can the opponent do to try to catch up? Right-handed hitting Anderson in. First pitch in the dirt. Miller picks it.
And at one point in yesterday's game, it was 9-4. And that's where it started to feel a little uneasy for Chatham against Wareham. That was the build back from Wareham in the middle where the Gatemen strung together 4 runs in the span of 3 or so innings. Chatham, though, closed the door.
Jones looks at first. Here's the 1-0. Fastball called a strike just below the letters. A ball and a strike.
It was also similar in the way that Chatham went 3 or so innings without a base runner yesterday. It's the same deal right now. They've gone 2 innings without that base runner.
Left against right. Jones kicks and deals. Runner goes. Pitches a fastball called a strike. Throw back to first. And Magpok gets back safely. Took more than a few steps towards second. Turned his whole body as if he was stealing. And then shut it down and dove back. So 1-2 on Anderson. Jones dangles the ball from his left hand. Now comes set, glove at the chest. Raises the right leg. He comes home 1-2. Tapped on the ground, left side. Lane fields only play to first. Off balance throw is in time for the first out. Magpok moves to second. But Chatham picks up another out. And the A's are 11 away from the win. Brings up the left-handed hitting center fielder Ty Head out of NC State. He is 0 for 2. Gallagher comes in right on the lip of the grass at third. Jones set. First pitch. Breaking ball inside. 1-0. Magpok on second with 1 out. 9-4 the Chatham lead, bottom of the 6th. Jones turns, throws to second. No tag applied by Lane. Magpok dives back head first. Head popped out and foul ground to Gallagher at third in the second, and grounded into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play in the 4th. 1-0. Upstairs. 83 miles an hour again on the Gavin Jones breaking ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Left on right. Rather left on left. 2-0. Runner goes. Pitches a fastball outside. The throw to third. Not in time. Stolen base for Adam Magpok, his 7th of the Cape League season. Brewster leads the East Division in stolen bases with 27 of them. Chatham, by comparison, in last with 17. It is 3-0 on Ty Head. Here's the pitch. Fastball dots the outside corner. 3-1. Runner on third with one out. Brewster threatening to further close Chatham's lead, which was once 7. 3-1. High and tight, brushes the runner off the plate. Throw back to third, safe. Magpok was paying no attention, just lollygagging as he jogged back toward third. Miller threw behind him. Head walks. Brewster has runners on the corners with one out. And now the order turns over for Ryan Martin to the plate for his second at bat. Left against right. Jones comes set. His first pitch to Martin. Fastball on the inside corner. Called a strike, 0-1. Head takes a shuffling lead off of first. Magpok leads off of third with one out. Throw to first. No tag from Jackson. Head back standing. Jones set on the mound. Again, he throws to first. Head back standing again. Chatham 9, Brewster 4, bottom of the 6th at Stony Brook Field. Whitecaps aiming to close the deficit further. On the corners with one out, the 0-1 to Ryan Martin, and again a throw to first before it comes. Again, head back standing. 3 straight pickoff attempts from Gavin Jones. Left-hander comes set, 10 on the pitch clock as he readies, looks at first and deals. Fastball high, 1-1. Chatham led 9-0 over Wareham yesterday, eventually won 11-6. 1-1, drilled, deep right center field. Ford sprints back, he looks up, and one hops against the wall. Magpok scores. Head steams around third. He scores. It's a 2-run double for Ryan Martin, and Wareham has cut the lead to 3. 9-6 Chatham in the 6th. Brewster, rather, has cut the lead. I was still thinking about yesterday's game as I was just talking about it.
Which, Jake, again, like we said, mirrors pretty much exactly what's going on here. Chatham builds up that early lead, and then the pitching starts to let it slip. That right now is 5 straight runs for Brewster, dating back to the 4th, without Chatham in that time getting a runner on base. And now Brewster starting to creep back in. And what originally felt like, okay, well, is it a run rule, or will it be the Sun, or will this game get to 9? Now Chatham could be rooting for the Sun, because if it goes down, the A's still have that 9-6 lead, but it is slimming.
This was a 9-1 game after 3.5. Now it's 9-6. Runner on second with one out for the Whitecaps. And Cal Fisher comes to the plate, right-handed hitting shortstop. First pitch, outside with a breaking ball, 1-0. And Jay Powell walks to the mound. Gavin Jones is done. Jay Powell points the finger toward Chatham's right field bullpen. And in his first Cape League outing, Jones surrenders as many runs as he records outs. He leaves with a runner on second in a 1-0 count, and Caden Smith is coming in. We'll get you all the information on the new Chatham right-hander when we come back. 9-6 the A's lead. Brewster threatening for more. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so, dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronc and buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck. But I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone. But that's not how it used to be. When the jester sang for the king and queen in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. So Brewster has cut it to 9-6. Still in the bottom of the sixth. Runner on second with one out, a 1-0 count on the righty hitting Cal Fisher. And the new Chatham pitcher is Cade Smith, right-hander out of TCU, who's pitched to an 8.31 ERA in 4 1/3 innings. Right on right, first pitch is a 1-0. Breaking ball downstairs, 2-0. Fastball, curveball, slider for Smith. Just finished his freshman year at TCU. Comes set in the stretch, looks at the runner at second, 2-0. Fastball clips the bottom of the zone, 2-1. That fastball has been mostly low 90s. It's occasionally touched up near 93, 94, but mainly lives 90, 91. 2-1. Fastball outside, 3-1. Smith in his 4 1/3 innings has allowed 4 runs, walked 4, K'd 4, 7 hits as well. 0 for 1 on save opportunities on the season. 3-1. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Count goes full on Cal Fisher. We are exactly 1 hour from sunset at Stony Brook Field. Again, no lights. Count is full on Fisher. Smith comes set. Payoff pitch. Fastball. Spoiled foul. In the air over the first base dugout. Out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fisher just reached his arms out and stayed alive by lofting that low outside fastball out of play. Runner on second with 1 out. He's the responsibility of Gavin Jones, who's left the game. Smith's 3-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, ball 4. So Brewster brings the game-tying run to the plate in the bottom of the 6th in the form of Brendan Lawson, the left-handed hitting Florida infielder who homered yesterday in Brewster's convincing win at Eldridge Park over Orleans. He bats as the game-tying run. Brewster down 9-6 in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Lawson is 0 for 2 with a walk. Smith comes set from the stretch. First pitch. Fastball on the inner third. Called a strike, it's 0-1. Gallagher about 20 feet off the line at third. Meanwhile, Jackson at first against the left-handed hitter, only about 5 feet off the line. 0-1, downstairs.
There's the slider. A ball and a strike from Smith to Lawson. Lawson, a Toronto native, went yard in his Cape League debut on Canada Day yesterday. 1-1. Upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Caden Smith laboring to throw strikes to start his outing. He's thrown 5 balls to 3 strikes so far. Right-hander comes set, 2-1 home. Swing and a miss. Lawson jolts his head out toward right field as he cuts through the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on first and second with 1 out. 9-6 the Chatham lead in the bottom of the 6th. Game-tying run at the plate. 2-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Skips past Miller. The runners move up. They're on second and third now with 1 out, and the count is full on Lawson. Martin goes to third, Fisher to second on the wild pitch. Right against left, it'll be a 3-2. Here it comes. Fastball popped up left side. Hanley sprints over from left and lands out of play in the Whitecap bullpen down the left field line. And the count full as a second payoff pitch will have to come from Smith. Chatham still out hitting Brewster 11-7. Whitecaps have scored 5 runs unanswered and looking for more. 3-2. Fastball line towards second. Mendoza snares it, throws to second. Double play! He darted to his right, picked it out of midair, and then tossed it the short way to second to Isaiah Lane as they beat Fisher scampering back to the bag. Chatham gets out of the 6th with no further damage and takes a 3-run lead into the 7th. Still, Brewster gets 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and after the double play, 1 man left on base. After 6 at Stony Brook Field, the Brewster deficit down to 3. Don't go anywhere.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam, staring at the faces in a rearview mirror, looking at the promise of the promised plan. One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps pay the rent. One could end up going to prison. One just might be president. Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue. Only in America, where we dream as big as we
On to the 7th at Stony Brook Field. Chatham in front of Brewster 9-6. Jake and Hudson with you, Diamond side in Brewster, where the Caps have scored 5 unanswered. Meanwhile, Chatham has not had a base runner since the 4th. Jackson Freeman leads it off against Britton. First pitch from Nate is a fastball called a strike outside corner. 0-1. Chatham had the bases loaded in the 4th. Jake Hanley grounded out to second. Started a string of 7 straight retired by Brewster pitching. 0-1. Fastball outside. 1-1. And the last 6 of those 7 retired have been from the Wake Forest righty Nate Britton, who's out for his 3rd inning here. For the first time today, streaks of sunlight across the field. 1-1, fastball outside, 2-1. The sun has finally gotten low enough to duck under the huge gray clouds that have loomed over the ballpark all day, and the sunlight just spilling through the trees behind Brewster's third base dugout into right field. 2-1, jolted left center field. Magpok on the run, he dives, it skips past him. Freeman rounds first and heads to second. He's in standing with a leadoff double. Another 2-hit day for Jackson Freeman. Already extended that hitting streak to 7 games. And he entered the day hitting .340 and is now 2 of 3. Brings up Daniel Jackson, right-handed hitter, 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles and 2 runs scored. Britton set. First pitch, inside with a fastball, 1-0. Thirteenth game for Daniel Jackson. Took his 2nd day off yesterday in the win over Wareham. 1-0. Fastball called a strike, outer third. A ball and a strike on him. He was hit by a pitch in Chatham's prior game 2 days ago against Falmouth. Dennis Cook gave him the day off. He had a pretty good welt on the left side of his chest. Britton comes to a stop. Here's the 1-1. Fastball, fisted into shallow right. Martin sprints on. It dunks fair for a hit. Freeman held up at second. He goes to third. Daniel Jackson dunks in a single. Back-to-back Chatham hits to start the inning. And the A's have runners on the corners with nobody out for Jake Hanley. Brewster catcher Drew Rogers steps out in front of home plate. Dishes out the first and third signs. Jackson takes his lead off first. Freeman his lead off of third. First pitch to Hanley. Swing and a miss. Big hack, and he's late on 92. 0-1. Up and away with a fastball, that time 90 miles an hour. A ball and a strike. Hanley is 0 for 3. Struck out swinging twice and grounded to second. Pick to first, Jackson dives back head first. Pops up and shakes dirt out of his belt. And now retakes his lead. Runners on the corners with nobody out. 1-1 to Hanley. Here it comes. Swing and a miss and a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Of the fully played games, so ruling out the fog out at Brewster, 4-game hit streak right now on the line for Hanley.
1-2. Backs him off the plate. Fastball down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Noah Miller would be next. Right-handed hitting Michigan catcher. Britton comes set. Long look in. 2-2. Tapped on the ground, foul. Hit him in the box. Count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hanley singled twice as part of a 2 for 3 night last night. And now Brian Del Rosso, the Brewster pitching coach, comes out to the mound in the middle of a count. 2-2. There is a righty up in the Whitecap bullpen down the left field side. The entire Brewster infield has gathered. Douglas Bauer, right-hander out of Ohio State, is warming. He's got a 1.50 ERA in 6 innings to this point. Getting closer and closer to sunset at Stony Brook Field, which again does not have lights. Del Rosso takes the slow walk back to Brewster's third base side dugout. As the right-hander Britton readies for a 2-2 to Hanley. Throws to first. Jackson dives back safely. Jackson had been running on the prior 2-2, which Hanley fouled off. Wonder if that was a first and third conversation. 2-2, tapped foul toward the on-deck circle. Noah Miller, the Chatham on-deck batter, stepped out onto the grass in foul ground. He's calling out for a balk. Righty set again. Long pause. Now deals. Breaking ball popped up. Shallow left. Shortstop Fisher goes out. He makes the backpedaling catch on the outfield grass for the first out. Runners stay at the corners. Now 1 out, and Noah Miller comes up. Right-handed hitting catcher is 0 of 2. It's grounded to short and to the pitcher. Brett Doe, the Chatham third base coach, flashes the signs, and Jamie Shevchek pops out of the dugout. Brewster will make a pitching change. Nate Britton's day is done. Douglas Bauer is coming in. He takes over with runners on first and third. And 1 out. His team down by 3 in the top of the 7th. All the info you need on the new right-hander when we come back. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day's through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side.
Back at Stony Brook Field, it's a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen. Douglas Bauer, the right-hander from Ohio State, takes over for Brewster. 6'4", 210-pounder from Houston, making his 4th Cape League appearance. He takes over in the top of the 7th with Chatham ahead 9-6. A's have runners on the corners with 1 out, and Noah Miller comes to the plate. Right-hander set, first pitch. Miller tags one on a line, foul, down the left field side. In between the base runner Freeman, who was leading into foul ground, and Brett Doe, Chatham's third base coach. The A's base runners and the hitter Miller met with the 2 base coaches and Dennis Cook outside the dugout. 0-1, he squares and bunts it foul. 0-2. And from our vantage point right here, we could see that meeting pretty clearly. That was what they agreed upon, that Miller would bunt, not on the first pitch, but on the second pitch. He did, but couldn't get it down. So he's behind 0-2. Runners on the corners, 1 out, the pitch. Popped foul. Stays, no balls, 2 strikes on Miller. He's just 2 of 26 on the season. 0-2. Fastball high, chops it toward third. Throw from the shortstop. Fisher goes to first. It's in time, and Freeman comes in to score. Miller plates a run with an RBI ground ball to shortstop. Make it 10-6 Chatham in the top of the 7th.
Now batting the shortstop from San Diego, number 1, Isaiah Lane.
Jackson broke on the pitch from first, which helped prevent Brewster from the chance to turn a 6-4-3 double play and end the inning. He goes to second with 2 out, and Isaiah Lane comes in. Right-handed hitter has plated 3 so far. First pitch, flied into straightaway right center field. The outfielders converge. It's the center fielder Head who makes the running grab in the gap to end the inning. Chatham does get a run on the RBI ground ball by Noah Miller. Isaiah Lane flies out to center to end the threat. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. It's time to stretch at Stony Brook Field. A's 10, Whitecaps 6.
Cape Cod Baseball Network and the A's. Sports Radio play-by-play. Chatham A's on the air.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never go back. 'Cause it's a root for the home team. And if I don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause there's a 1, 2, or 3 strikes to out at the old ball game. Yeah.
To the bottom of the 7th at Stony Brook Field. Chatham in front of Brewster 10-6. Second meeting between these two sides in a matter of 5 days, and the first time they've met at Stony Brook Field in 2025. He scored 7 in the first. Meanwhile, Brewster has scored 5 over the past 3 innings. Colton Coates leads it off. Right-handed Caden Smith on the mound. Switch hitter turns around and bats left for his second at bat. Smith winds up, first pitch. Fastball called a strike, low outside corner, it's 0-1. Smith came in, got Brendan Lawson to line into an inning-ending double play. 0-1, outside, 1-1. He relieved Gavin Jones, who allowed a 2-run double to Ryan Martin. That made it a 9-6 game. 1-1. Fastball popped up, straight away right field. Freeman jogs a bit to his right. He makes the catch for the first out. Only about 5 steps over toward the gap for the right fielder, Freeman. Puts it away for the first out. And that brings up Carson Curse, right-handed hitting third baseman. Smith's first pitch, breaking ball misses high. It's the slower of the two breakers. Curveball comes in at 77 and misses above the letters, 1-0. Breaking ball in the dirt that time, also 77. Miller, the catcher, grabs it just above the dirt behind home plate, 2-0. Here's the pitch. Fastball drilled right center field. Ford sprints over. He makes the running grab in the gap for the second out. 2 quick outs for Caden Smith in the 7th. And Brewster now has 7 outs left to work with, trailing 10-6.
Not the easiest play for Henry Ford as well in right center. You talked with manager Dennis Cook beforehand. He said that gives him a little more versatility playing him in center, and he's proven that he can play there.
First pitch to Drew Rogers. Breaking ball down and away, 1-0. And Ford, the 73rd rated prospect in the MLB draft, which is just 12 days away. 1-0. Breaking ball in the dirt hits the umpire. Ryan Damari flails his arms in the air and then skips out into foul ground on the first base side. And Jay Powell wisely darts out of the Chatham dugout and goes to the mound to give Ryan Damari a chance to take a minute.
He also, in his motion to Damari to call for the meeting, almost seemed to apologize in a way for Smith nailing him. I mean, Damari flipped around and kind of gritted his teeth.
Yeah, that's what that mound visit was. It was an apology from the Chatham dugout. Brewster trainer popped out of the dugout, but Damari waved him off. Now he's back behind home plate, 2-0. Swing and a miss at a fastball, 2-1. You know, every now and then if the umpire just gets nicked by a ball, you'll see the coach tell the catcher to go out. That was hard enough where Jay Powell felt a full-fledged mound visit was necessary. Nobody on, 2 out. Chatham 10, Brewster 6, bottom 7. 2-1. Fastball lined foul to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Rogers.
And since Powell went out there, too, it's been a much more aggressive approach from Smith. Back-to-back fastballs, both hittable against a good hitter in Rogers, trying to blow it by him both times, and did so on the first one.
He's plated 2 runs on 2 hits today, including a long home run. 2-2. Breaking ball called, strike 3. Froze him with a 78-mile-an-hour hook. And this game is over. Chatham wins on a game called on account of darkness. 10-6 the final. The A's come roaring out of the gates with 7 runs in the first and take down Brewster 10-6 at Stony Brook Field. Well, it came a little early.
Sure did.
But we've got the Anglers Extra post-game show coming up. I'll head onto the field for a post-game interview, and Hudson will have your post-game highlights presented to you, as always, by Touchstone Closing. The A's had 12 hits last night. Well, how about 13 of them in just 7 innings tonight? They beat the second-place Whitecaps 10-6. Don't go anywhere. Anglers Extra post-game show's coming up.
Sports Radio. Play-by-play. Go A's. Chatham on GRC.
When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, ooh, I wanna be there, yeah, in my city. Oh, 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 oh. So you think you're lonely? Well, my friend, I'm lonely too. I wanna get back to my city by the bay. It's sad. There's been mornings out on the road without you, without your charms. Oh, na 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 na. When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, ooh, I wanna be there in my city. Oh, oh, when the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, ooh, I wanna be there in my city.
Welcome back on the Anglers Extra postgame show. A shortened Chatham win over top of Brewster, a big 10-6 victory. And Jake Klein is standing by with an interview. Jake?
Base for him, and hopefully, I can steal second or get in scoring position, and he drives me in. So he's done an amazing job at that as well.
Got the big 3rd and 4th of July set coming up with Orleans and plenty of festivities in Chatham as well. What are you looking forward to?
I've heard nothing but great things about the 4th of July in Chatham, and then also I got a couple buddies from San Diego on the Orleans team, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Awesome. That's Isaiah Lane on the Anglers Extra post-game show. Chatham wins at 10-6 over Brewster. Isaiah, thanks for the time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Back to Hudson for the rest of the Anglers Extra post-game show.
Thank you very much, Jake. Apologies for that. We got the end of Isaiah Lane there as he ended up knocking in 2 more runs today. That's back-to-back games for Isaiah Lane, where he's recorded 2 or more RBIs, part of a Chatham offense that is coming alive. All right, on the other side, we'll have your highlights on the Anglers Extra postgame show.
The screen door slams, Mary's dress sways. Like a vision, she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Roy Orbison singing for the lonely. Hey, that's me and I want you only. Don't turn me home again. I just can't face myself alone again. Don't you run back inside, darling, you know just what I'm here for. So you're scared and you're thinking that maybe we ain't that young anymore. Well, show a little faith, there's magic in the night. Ain't a beauty, but hey, you're alright. Oh, and that's alright with me. You can hide beneath your covers and study your pain. Make crosses from your lovers, throw roses in the rain. Waste your summer praying in vain for a savior to rise from these streets. Well, I'm no hero that's understood.
Welcome back on the Anglers Extra postgame show after Chatham takes down Brewster for the second time this season. Both games against the Whitecaps shortened, this time a little bit more offense. It's a 10-6 Chatham winner. And we have so much offense to go through that we will not waste any time here. It's time for your highlights presented by Touchstone Closing. Henry Ford was the leadoff batter in this game, and after driving in 5 runs last night, he took pitch 1 for a ball and then pitch 2. 1-0, popped up right side, hit deep by Ford towards the wall. It's gone. Way out of here for Henry Ford. It only takes 2 pitches for the A's to strike first. The 3rd bomb of the season for Ford, and Chatham with a 1-0 lead to begin the ballgame. So Henry Ford picking up exactly where he left off. And it wasn't long before the Chatham offense got rolling even further. Gavin Gallagher singled. Ethan Mendoza came right behind him and singled. And then Daniel Jackson came up. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a liner out to deep left field. It rolls up against the wall. 1 run comes in to score. It's Gallagher, Mendoza right behind him. It's a stand-up double for Daniel Jackson. He drives in 2 more. Chatham on top 3-0 in the top of the first. The offense is on fire for the A's. And that at that point was an understatement. On fire is one thing, but what the Chatham offense was in this top of the first was something else. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swing and a lofted ball out towards right field. Being chased and it drops. Freeman comes in to score. Jackson alongside him. And it's 2 more runs for Chatham. Isaiah Lane brings in runs 4 and 5 of the top of the first, and the Anglers are rolling. You heard from Isaiah Lane on the Anglers Extra postgame show talk about some of those moments that the Anglers offense had earlier today. And then Henry Ford came back up. This was his 2nd time batting in the frame, and he did this. Here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Noah Miller comes in to score. Isaiah Lane goes in standing. It's 7 runs for Chatham in the top of the first. But it couldn't be all Chatham offense. Of course, Brewster did end up scoring 6 runs in this game. The first of them came when Drew Rogers came to the plate. First pitch swinging out to left center field, and he watches it fly. A no-doubter from Drew Rogers on the first pitch from Tate Carey, and he sailed it well over the left center field wall. Brewster grabs one back. It is 7-1 A's in the bottom of the second. So Brewster clawing back a little bit, but at the time the Chatham offense was keen to just keep putting runs on the board. Isaiah Lane already had 2 RBIs earlier, and he wanted more. Back in the first. First pitch. Popped out towards right field. Down the line and fair. It drops down for a base hit, and he's got another RBI. It brings in Jackson from third, and that's 8 runs for the A's. 8-1. Chatham leads in the top of the third. So then Chatham with that 8-1 lead, things were looking peachy. Drew Rogers came back up, ended up making it 8-2, rather 9-2. Chatham added a run in between those two. And then later, it was Kearse who came to the plate and started to make things a little bit more interesting.
Jones set, 2-0 pitch. Fastball drilled right center field and deep. Ford sprints back near the fence. He dives, can't get it, and rolls up against the wall. Fisher comes around to score. Coates not far behind him. And Kearse pulls into third with a 2-run triple.
So all of a sudden, it's only a 9-4 lead for Chatham. Something reminiscent of the game against Wareham yesterday, where the A's got out to a 9-0 lead. Wareham made it 9-4. And now today, it was 9-4 again. But unlike yesterday, where Chatham instantly flipped the switch and pulled away, Brewster came even closer. This time, Ryan Martin.
1-1, drilled. Deep right center field. Ford sprints back. He looks up, and one hops against the wall. Magpok scores. Head steams around third. He scores. It's a 2-run double for Ryan Martin, and Wareham has cut the lead to 3. 9-6 Chatham in the 6th.
So Brewster had brought it within 3. And then once the base paths got uncluttered, they got cluttered again. Runners on the corners, the tying run at the plate in the bottom of the 6th. Chatham needed a big defensive play.
3-2. Fastball line towards second. Mendoza snares it, throws to second. Double play! He darted to his right, picked it out of midair, and then tossed it the short way to second to Isaiah Lane as they beat Fisher, scampering back to the bag.
That massive twin killing ended the 6th and ended the threat. Chatham, in search of a little bit more insurance, got some more traffic on the base paths, and Noah Miller stood in.
0-2. Fastball high, chops it toward third. Throw from the shortstop. Fisher goes to first. It's in time, and Freeman comes in to score. Miller plates a run with an RBI ground ball to shortstop. Make it 10-6 Chatham in the top of the 7th.
So 10-6 Chatham, and the sun was starting to get low, but not really in danger of anything. Then all of a sudden, it was over.
2-2. Breaking ball called, strike 3. Froze him with a 78-mile-an-hour hook. And this game is over. Chatham wins on a game called on account of darkness. 10-6 the final. The A's come roaring out of the gates with 7 runs in the first and take down Brewster 10-6 at Stony Brook Field.
So despite the 6 runs from Brewster scored in the game, Chatham had that total by the top of the first, and that early offensive explosion put the A's on top as Chatham surges back to 500. A slow start to the year. Now the A's move to 6-6-3. The Whitecaps down to 9-6 after game 15 of the season, as the sun has now set at Stony Brook Field. In about 23 hours from exactly right now, we are back. Chatham takes on Orleans for the first time this season at home. That's a 7 p.m. first pitch. 6:40 is when the Anglers Extra pregame show begins. A home-and-home with Orleans over the next 2 days. Keep on listening to the Cape Cod Baseball Network for all the coverage. See ya from Stony Brook Field.
Chatham Anglers Baseball 2025 has been brought to you by the Chatham Bars Inn, Chatham Clothing Bar, Touchstone Closing, Mahi Gold, Chatham Paint and Hardware, Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, the Red Nun Bar and Grill, Short and Sweet Ice Cream, Cape Cod 5, and by the Chatham A's.
Chatham A's Baseball, Sports Radio, play-by-play, summertime on Cape Cod.
This has been an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Chatham on TRZ.